It's a vibe. Rock with me.
Alternate sound.
Alternate sound, DJ Big N.
Take all my mind, take all the joy now, take me down, take all the love now, tie me away, burn me alive now, break me down right now. I wanna lock me away, I'm winning, you wanna run through my pain, I'm shining, now you won't come for my pain.
I really wanna tell you how my day went.
Where my lovers in the building tonight.
I for sure you just see nothing.
It's a vibe.
But I don't really know you that well.
I really wanna kiss you in the face, baby. And maybe every other place, baby. If you like me, I don't remember say I don't really know you that well. Yeah.
Somebody pound.
All right, what's going on? All right, what's going on? All right, what's going on? I was hearing myself back over there. What's going on? Sorry, baby. Did I hit you?
Yes.
Yeah,
Jesus.
it's rough. I'm sorry.
Get it together.
Let's go ahead and share our face to the folks hanging out with us on YouTube. What's going on Instagram? What's happening? Let's talk about it.
What's up?
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Yeah, there you go. What's happening? Everything good?
Everything is great.
Awesome. Another Friday. It goes by so fast. Does
We're
What is
still
that?
home because of the Rona.
Oh, you're home. A lot of people went back to work, baby.
Okay.
When you're okay. All right, what's going on, everyone? Yeah, you see the topic right there. Let me see. Let me make sure I share it here. Yes, we're going to be talking about why do women cheat? I mean, that's a jump question as far as I'm concerned, but let's talk about it, right? And this question was actually inspired because we're watching another show by a girl called Lola on YouTube. Yes.
Okay. Do
Right.
share.
Yeah, it's a big topic. It's absolutely a big topic. Let's see here. Let's make sure that, okay, so looks like a couple of people are hanging out with us. Okay, we're good. All right, so YouTube did not slap us in 1 minute. Okay. As usual, any one of these topics will link to everything else that people deal with in relationships. All right. So So I'm excited to talk about it. But the first thing I want to talk about is the show that we've been watching. So if you've been watching some of the shows with us, Marriage Boot Camp Hip Hop Edition is still on, and they had episode 4 yesterday. Yep, and it was about fights, and it was about fights.
Mm-hmm.
But when they say fight, most of it is argument.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so what's your take on this week's episode? What do you recall from this week's episode?
You tell me. I was in and out. This week episode wasn't that. I don't know. It wasn't that ratchet for me.
With all the arguments?
I don't even remember who argued yesterday, honestly, on the show.
They all argued. Let me see. The only people that really didn't argue was let me just give me 1 second here. The only people that seemingly maybe did not argue were on I said argue. Argue yesterday was probably maybe Phaedra and the husband. I mean, they talked a little bit about it, and they don't seem to have much issues going on. They
Are they even in a relationship?
More so, they don't seem to be in a relationship.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, but that's a good angle to look at it. Like, if you don't find yourself in arguments and fights, you're probably not really in a relationship.
Yeah, if you're not passionate.
That means you're not passionate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's see. Let's make sure Instagram can see your pretty face.
Oh, I'm here, Jari.
All right. So if you're not arguing, or if you don't stumble, I'm not saying argue. We absolutely advise against arguments, but not so much avoiding argument, but not so much advice against arguments. Avoid arguments is what we say, because we kind of know it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a nice channel for the devil to come into your relationships. Is the easiest way, because again, the devil doesn't just fall out of the skies in the black clothes and then say, "Hey, I'm here, I'm going to destroy your relationship." It doesn't work like that.
Mm-hmm.
He uses your weakest links, your weak points, your weakest moments. That's what the devil uses.
Sure.
You know, whatever you call devil in your world, by the way, don't get stuck on the word devil, okay? Because some people, that's a big deal for them. All right, so but when we say devil, we're talking about all the negativity that can come with a relationship.
All right.
Basically the opposite of a healthy relationship, right? So those things, they come in the form of arguments, toxic arguments in particular.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about disagreement. We're not talking about just having a conversation with your wife, a small debate. No, I agree, you disagree. No, I think it's that way. But we're talking about arguments. But here's the thing: arguments don't just fall out of the skies and become arguments. It starts with a conversation. It starts with a small debate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the harmless ones, right?
Yeah.
That's what it starts with, right?
Mm-hmm.
But before you know it, you've already rubbed somebody off the wrong way, and that wasn't your intentions. And now you're in this conversation and you can't even get out of it, right? So yesterday's was it yesterday? Yeah. Marriage boot camp was about fight. So this basically, they put them in positions to instigate a fight, they call it. But basically what it was is mostly argument, right? For most people, it's argument. Every now and then there's a situation where people get physical. And there was one person that actually got physical at the very last minute of that episode. And but again, nobody wants to get physical. Nobody starts like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's when anger comes in,
Mm-hmm.
right? Somebody rubs you off the wrong way. You just want to, like, he snatched the phone away from her. And they call it aggressiveness. So if you're aggressive with your voice, if you're aggressive with your tone, your mannerisms, right? Those kind of things will push your significant other away.
Well, if a man is overly animated,
I didn't say man.
well,
You can be
now
aggressive as you want to.
I know, but especially if you're a man and you are now animated,
Mm-hmm.
it is kind of scary to the woman.
What do you mean by animated? Explain that to the people.
You are like all over, you know, you're a man and you're flinging hands and that's scary now.
Yeah, yeah.
A woman will feel threatened.
And a lot of time as men, we don't realize that we're looking like a threat. So if you talk in gestures a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and you're using a lot of physical gestures when you're talking. All that is aggressiveness,
Yeah.
and it can absolutely destroy what you have going on,
Right.
if you have anything at all. So yeah, so that's basically the quick review for. So basically, this guy Devon and
Hazel
Azel E, they got into it. They got a little physical towards the end of the show yesterday. Phaedra and what's his name? Medina.
Mm-hmm.
They don't seem to have much going on. So a lot of indifference. Somebody's waiting for the other person. They actually still win each other. So squash to the side. What's the other one? Will and Shonda.
Yeah, Shonda.
They fall in actually today's topic.
Mm.
So let's leave that to the last, right? Who else?
Vado and
Tahiri. They get into arguments. They basically what they did is that they put them in different rooms, but the other party was listening to the other person, and basically what they heard, for example, Vado and Tahiri, she was hearing that this dude is still having some kind of intimate relationship with his baby mother.
Mm-hmm.
But intimate relationship does not always mean sex.
Mm-hmm.
When you confide in people and you're talking to them and they know your secrets, they know your weak points and things like that.
And you tell them things that you can't necessarily tell
that
your
you can't
spouse,
even tell your spouse
or you're hiding things,
or your girlfriend or your boyfriend.
That's kind of cheating.
Yes, and that's what and she felt cheated.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, cheating is not always, another mistake that a lot of people make is that cheating is not, for the most part, it's not even sexual. It's not when you already slept with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually more of that the other person's feeling. The person that's accusing you of cheating is their feelings. Their feelings, when they find out, is actually what constitutes, what we call cheating, in the sense of once they catch you in inappropriate behavior, maybe it's not even inappropriate, but they feel like it's inappropriate.
Mm-hmm.
That's
I
all.
mean, if you have to lie to your spouse, if you have to omit certain things, you know that, what I'm doing right now, my spouse would not agree or wouldn't like it. It's kind of, you're cheating them out of something.
Yeah. So I agree. However, if you feel like, no, you're not cheating them, it doesn't count. It's them feeling like they're cheated that counts towards.
But if you know in your mind that what you are doing right now
is right,
I can't do it in front of my spouse.
Oh yeah,
have a problem. That is basically
if you if that person knows.
Yeah, if you have to hide to do certain things.
Oh yeah. Like if you wouldn't do the thing you're doing in front of your significant other,
right?
I like saying that because it's spouse, sometimes it's girlfriend, boyfriend, right?
Right.
If you know you wouldn't want them to see it, that's probably cheating. Right? So it could be even money, it could be financial.
Yes. Yes.
It could be anything that if they find out, they will feel cheated out of the knowledge of it. It's not even the sex, it's not the physical act, it's just the knowledge of it, just them knowing that, so that's where some people come up with their definitions of open relationship.
Right.
I just want to know. Well, I still feel like if you want to do open marriage, why attach marriage to the word? Just get out of a marriage. Right? Why complicate life for yourselves? So let's just keep that in mind right there. Cagney Parker, thanks for coming through. Let's talk about it. All right. So Vado and a lot of these people, their fight still comes from the other person feeling cheated out of something. Okay. So there's a definition here actually of cheating that I put in here. Let's start diving through that right now. Because if you don't even know what cheating is, a proper definition of it, right? Because a lot of people have different variations of the meanings. What does it mean? And stuff like that, right? So let's talk about a cheat. That's referencing a person. A cheat is a person who behaves dishonestly in order to gain an advantage. So let's dissect that real quick. Dishonesty, right? You can call it cheating if dishonesty is not involved in it, right? So this is how you feel, but you decide to tell your spouse the other way around. You want to hide it for reasons known to you, right? Maybe you're not even comfortable, right? So that goes to people that want to be quick to judge cheaters, you know. Is it right? Is it wrong? We're going to talk about all of that, right? But dishonesty is just simply, you wouldn't want to tell them. You wouldn't want them to see you in that light, right? And that's cheating. Okay. But usually, by the time it becomes sexual, it's already too late. It's been happening long before sex.
Right.
Okay. So that's for the people who want to judge. Oh yeah, he had sex, he cheated. Okay. It's already too late at that time. If you really want to judge, you should be judging way before. You should judge yourself in moments too when you were very weak. It's still weakness. You're doing something, you wouldn't want to tell your spouse that you're doing it for reasons that may even be right to you. That's why it's not about right and wrong. That reason may be right to you. It's just that this is my thing. You, including like you say you were going out and then you took another exit
to another place
to go to Walmart instead of coming home. But you know that he's going to talk about it if you mention that. So you decide to just keep that to yourself because you don't want to hear his mouth.
Or you buy, you know how I'll use women as an example. And I know I've done this. Like you will buy shoes and just sneak it inside.
Exactly.
You don't want your spouse to have an opinion about, you bought another shoe again. How many shoes do you even have? So that kind of situation.
So it starts with all of that, you know.
Yeah, it does.
It
does.
You know, it starts with all of that,
even though that doesn't hurt you, it's still, you know.
Well, it's a behavior. It's a behavior that starts like minuscule, almost start very small, but it's a behavior that you're encouraging yourself to say, "Let me keep this away from him."
I don't want to hear his mouth.
Yeah. Like, so it's a behavior. It's just, and it's learned. And all behaviors in relationships are learned, one way or the other. You know, it could just be you're practicing small with small thing. Let me buy a little shoe on the side. Doesn't have to know. I'm not saying don't buy a shoe on the side. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just letting you know.
I love shoes.
I'm just letting you know where some of these behaviors start
where they come from. Yeah.
So that's what causes fights, and that's what. But this conversation is beyond marriage boot camp, and let's just go ahead and take that off the screen and dive a little bit further. If you're watching the marriage boot camp review, you want to go ahead and watch the full episode of Marriage Issues, 10th episode 010. All right, so let's talk about it today. So for you, what are the first thoughts that comes to your mind when somebody asks, why do women cheat? No, I'll tell you what first before you go. That question also assumes that all women cheat. I thought it's kind of weird. Like, what do you mean? Why do women cheat? Do all women cheat? Right? Because that's kind of scary if all women cheat.
I feel like when people emphasize on women cheating, when people start to give excuse to why women cheat, is like giving a women pass to cheat. So why do people cheat? Makes more sense to me than why do women cheat.
So you don't think the way women cheat can be different from how men cheat, or why they cheat? Why? How?
I mean, there are reasons out there to why women cheat, but there are women that also are just cheaters. You know, people say, oh, for a woman to cheat, that means the man has done something to her. No, it's not natural for women to cheat. But I know women that actually, they just love men. So and they cheat for no reason, and they have everything. Right. So that's why I said I would rather. Why do people?
There is a percentage out there that 56% of men that cheat are actually in a happy marriage, and only 34% of women that cheat are in a happy marriage. So there's a discrepancy there. Wow! Did you get that? Wow! Somebody said, "Where are you guys doing this?" That's a jump question.
Why? You want to come?
We're in Ondo State, Akure.
Oh, he said too bright to be in Nigeria. Wow, that is so shady right there.
See, look at it. Look, and I just told you, Okaro, to be specific, in Akure. No, I'm just kidding. We're in New Jersey. New York, New Jersey. But I hail from Okaro, Akure.
Okay.
And Okedogbo, Owo.
This is
Express.
Owo. Express.
And she hails from Mushin. No.
Excuse me. Hey, my mom was born and bred in Mushin, so you can't be throwing that
I love
shit.
Mushin. That's why I love
Okay,
Mushin.
you don't even know
because
Mushin.
My mommy too, she's from Mushin. That's why I love Mushin.
She grew up in Mushin
and Mushin was one of the first places we stopped by anytime we came to Lagos, because I had two uncles, Bradley and Braidu, that we always stop by in Mushin. So I have a very, and plus One Day Cole, one of my favorite artists of all time. It's Mushin from Mushin to Mohits.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
So I said, watching from Wagga Wagga, Australia. Is that a place?
Oh, wow. Interesting. Never heard that.
All right.
Hey, so you learn every day, eh?
So let me just warn everybody. We're going to give a lot of excuses today why people cheat. So if you're a judger, you like to judge people.
Judger. A judge.
If you like to judge people, there are a couple of reasons here that I'm just going to go ahead and take it out of the place right now. People will say, you're just making excuses. We're going to give a lot of excuses. People will say, be accountable. You're just making excuses. We're going to make lots of excuses. You know why? Because if you don't know why people behave the way they behave, how can you possibly give into their life or give into your relationship so that you don't encounter that kind of situation? You won't. If you're busy saying, is it that right or wrong? You've got a serious problem, because we all do wrong things sometimes in life. It just depends on how you want to measure wrong. Some people think some sin are bigger than the other ones.
Even though the Bible says sin is sin.
Yeah. Did the Bible say that?
I thought it doesn't matter how big your sin is and how small mine is. I think we're still going to be judged on Judgment Day.
Yeah. I'm sure the Bible suggests that. I'm not sure if we say that verbatim. My wife sometimes will throw out the Bible verse.
I'm just saying, what? Excuse me? I might not say the right way, but I didn't bring that out of my ass, okay?
But it's all good. It's all good. The point I'm making is that all of us have sinned and fall short.
One way or the other.
Okay? So if you want to judge, I want you to stick around, but you may not have that much fun, just so you know, okay? Because we're going to make a lot of excuses for women that cheat, okay? Or end up in a situation and stuff like that. If you know those things, then you will know as a woman how to feed your soul so you don't find yourself in that situation. So sometimes people will say, no, like some young ladies, they're usually young. Look, older people don't say shit like this.
Okay.
But, they will say, let me find it here. A man will say, my woman will never cheat. That's the dumbest thing ever to say. Don't ever say that to yourself. But a woman will say, I will never cheat. It's not necessarily the dumbest thing to say from a woman's standpoint, because that's just how you feel right now. You must be in a good place emotionally. And if you're in a good place emotionally, it's easier said than done.
Yeah, because it's not, I don't believe it's planned.
Right. But if you find yourself in a situation, like people that find themselves in a situation where they've had to be dishonest, right? And I say they find themselves in a situation, I know it's a trigger word for people that want to judge. What do you mean find yourself in a situation that was a choice?
Because they never thought they could do that.
Yes.
And they probably have said, I would never. The quote that says never
Somebody said I said shit. Oh, Ojabone, it dropped. Sorry.
The language, please. We like to cuss here. I don't know.
Sorry.
I do.
Sorry, we just say it as it is, as it comes to mind. Yeah. Sorry. But you're gonna learn a lot. All right. So what were you saying, baby? Just now?
I said there's the phrase never say never.
Right. It's real.
It's real.
It's real.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real. And you may say, but we all know right from wrong. Exactly. And we still do wrong. The only problem now in this topic is that people, during the course of this talk, they figure like cheat is the only wrong thing that can be done in life. What about dishonesty? Just straight up dishonesty. You're not telling the full truth, or you tell half a truth.
You're omitting
right?
stuff.
Or omission.
Oh, people say omission is not lies. Like, but I didn't lie. I just didn't say it. Like, okay.
And I believe God doesn't measure things the way we measure things. It doesn't use the same unit of measurements that we use, especially when it comes to measurement of sin. It doesn't use the same measurements that we use when it comes to fairness. Oh, that's not fair. Well, you ever heard life is not fair?
Life is not fair.
All is fair.
You could do everything
at
right,
the end of the day.
And life will still treat you like shit.
Yes. Yes.
That's real.
Yes, and yes, our choices still drives the direction of our lives in many ways, but there are so many shit that we don't control. There's so much that we don't control. Like for all we care right now, this whole internet can shut down and boom, we can't continue anymore. We don't control that. There's so many forces behind it. But there's also some right decisions that United States of America and the Western states of the world have done right over time that we can kind of count on it, that this light, 99%, will not blink in the next how many minutes? 90 minutes.
Whereas in Nigeria, you can't just think that way.
And there are decisions that led to that as well.
Absolutely.
So, but when it comes to relationships, it's kind of a little bit different, but not so much. You just got to learn the different nuances. Like, for example, can your wife cheat on you? Yes, absolutely, it's possible. In fact, she probably cheats in so many ways already. Maybe she hasn't had sex with anybody else. Maybe she would never have sex. Maybe she would never ever do, but she cheats in other different ways. Maybe your relationship is actually suffering in other ways, and it has nothing to do with sexual relationship and affair with another person outside of your marriage. But you're suffering just as much, if not more, right? So let's treat it. It's bad for a woman to find themselves in a situation of an affair. It's absolutely bad. There's no question about it. However, dwelling on that will only make you suffer more, because when you focus on negative, it will expand. All right. So, Kagna said, I really thank God for you all. My marriage is going through a lot right now, and I'm learning a lot. That's awesome, Kagni. I hope I pronounced your name right.
Yes.
Feel free to drop any questions anytime. We'll do it justice. We'll try our best. The link you forwarded on WhatsApp isn't working. I didn't forward a link specifically today for that reason. I didn't forward a link, but thank you for letting me know. Kenny, thanks for being here. Yeah, you can always search Lola and Ola and you will find us. It's actually better that way, because we may have a few haters. I just realized.
Jesus.
Yeah, like before we even start, they click on it and flag it. It's possible. I told you, life is not fair.
Wow.
It is what it is. You know, always in the war, you always have to brace, right? So just for those that want to be here, just go on the platforms and search Lola and Ola. Just follow, subscribe right now. You get notifications. But I will always let you know in the form of text. But today I tried to make sure that there was no links, but I may have missed one. All right. So let's get into it a little bit more. Let's talk about cheating women. Cheating women are cheats. Okay, granted. There you have it. Is that what you want to hear? Okay, yes. Yes, they are wrong. We get it. But let's find out why.
They're wrong. You get it, but it's still not a crime.
and there's a reason why it's not a crime. There's actually a reason why it's not a crime. I mean, you can use it against them as infidelity when you're filing for divorce, but your relationship is still going to be destroyed.
Yeah.
Mind.
For bad sex in a marriage?
Whoever's complaining is fault, yes.
Excuse me?
That's my opinion. If you're complaining, it's your fault.
Okay. If you say so.
By the way, if you're complaining, you always have power to change.
Okay. What would you tell someone that is going through bad sex in their marriage?
You need to spice it up. You need to.
Okay, maybe they've tried spicing it up and the guy just don't have the gut.
Entanglements.
I mean,
let's stop saying entanglement before YouTube thinks it's a negative word and start flagging videos.
What do you say? What do you say to someone that has tried it all and the sex is just bad?
So let's go ahead and
what do you say to someone that all of their life, okay? This talking about life is not fair. You know, you lived your life the right way.
So here
you're crazy. And then the D-Day came. You were ready, but I waited all of my life for this.
We have Charlie here asking Jam question. What's up, Charlie? He says,
Hi, Charlie.
Is this a private room? It is so.
It's a private room. Yeah, and then you're like, gang, it's about to go down. And then it goes, wah, wah, wah. There's no gurt.
There's no guff.
What do you do? Now you feel stuck.
Oh my God.
Because now you've given your you've taken this brother and said for better, for worse.
Oh my Lord.
Not knowing the package that is rolling with.
Oh my
What
Lord.
do you say to women?
You know,
like that? That's a real
by the way, from
situation.
yesterday's marriage boot camp, the only way to get through, what did she say? To do something is to be friends and resolve conflict. That's how to have a healthy relationship, because conflict will happen. And when you're friends, it makes things a lot more easier. You know,
yes.
So I just wanted to point that out real quick before we dive back in. So you're talking about the thrill of sexual novelty. I'm not sure what novelty means. Can anybody help us with what novelty means? What does that word means?
Oh my God.
Or what does that word mean, right? Is that the right English? My grammar is off today. Sorry.
She said you pronounced it properly. Thank you.
What did I pronounce right?
No, we're talking about Gert.
Oh, guff. Shit.
Oh my goodness.
But anyway, let's talk about okay, so we have this thrill of novelty and lack of sex and intimacy. Are those reasons why a woman would cheat? Is that what you're saying right now?
Yeah. But those are reasons out there why a woman would cheat.
So let's dissect it. So you're not happy sexually. You're sexually frustrated.
Yes.
Okay. You have what some people will call blue balls, even though you're a woman.
You're honey as hell.
Well, are you honey? Some people may be lacking and not be honey.
They could be like, whoa, they're complaining about it.
Well, when you're in the middle of complaining, the last thing you want to do is be horny.
If you're sexually frustrated, that means you've had horny moments and
okay,
then
I'll take it in.
Jesus.
All right, I'll take it in. But yeah, same thing. Same potato, right? So lack of sex and intimacy can cause a woman. So, but how does that? Do you just say I don't have sex anymore, or
I
it's not good enough?
I just gave you a fucking scenario.
So every time, like how many times would you experience that? You mentioned the ghost thing, right? How many times have you experienced that before you say, you know what, I need to go? Are you going to make a deliberate decision, like, let me go outside and take care of myself on this situation? Is that how that goes? See, I'm not a woman. I'm asking.
No, I'm asking you, what do you suggest someone that just got married to, someone that they felt like there was deceit?
Oh, deceit
in there, like
they were virgins.
Man,
or they were celibate before marriage.
Whether celibate or whether virgin before, and then you now find out that the guy that you married is not even up to the task. And you guys didn't have these conversations. I tell people to grab you should have tried to grab your spouse package at least once before you get married.
I won't say grab. That's assault.
That's not assault.
Maybe feel on it. Okay. Maybe feel on the crotch.
Feel on it. Dance on it. See how the thing bounces. Like, come on. You can't get to the bedroom and start finding out that bro is rolling with 2 inches or 3 inches or and then he doesn't have growth.
What's wrong with 3 inches? Jesus Christ. This is evil.
What?
Sit down, baby. Come on. Come next to me here. Okay.
I'm just saying, these are legitimate talks out there
God has
in women groups.
Whatever God has given you is what God has given you. How you can use it, how you can work it.
How come if you don't know what God has given you?
Huh?
You don't know it. You want to see it now to be able to decide.
Okay, so let me say it this way. First of all, don't get into a marriage until you make sure that you have been sexually aroused at some point. Maybe you don't have sex if that's your belief system. But come on, you have to have been sexually aroused at some point, because that's going to become an issue. You have to have been almost so close to do it, being tempted to do it, even though you know your values. It's so close, but we didn't do it because we had some, whatever your moral compass or values are. But come on, you have to make sure you're being sexually aroused at some point, because this will become a big issue at stages later on in life. What happens is that every 5 to 10 years of stages in your life, there are going to be things that will show up. It's not like you didn't know about it before, but they kind of like show more face, like, I need that.
Right.
But before you were like, so you hear it in many ways. Like some people will say when women get into their 40s is when they want it, and kind of men like decline a little bit, right? That's because in life there are stages to many of these different facets of life and how it shows up in our life. So if you kind of already know that sexual relationship and activities are going to be a very important part of holding your marriage together. Everyone knows that. Like, come on, that's not
important.
That's important. Don't just get into it and say, we didn't we couldn't tell because we were celibate. Dude, you're not a child. I don't care if you're 23.
Okay.
You need to make sure that you are at least sexually aroused by that person.
Yeah.
The excitement is a beautiful thing, even if you don't do it. Okay.
I mean, there are brothers out there that when it's time for you to now come and do what the needful, you go and be doing this. Like, yo, we know you're a pastor, but yo, chill. Let's do this thing.
What is this?
You believe in Jesus?
Is that prayer?
Come on, stop it. That behavior has to stop. And if you have a problem, at least talk about it. A lot of men don't talk about it.
All right, we're talking about women right now.
Yeah, but I'm telling you the problems that women have. These men are not speaking out.
Okay.
They don't want help.
Listen, are we giving excuses for people that cheat?
No,
I kind of warned you anyway, right? I warned them already.
Okay.
We're going to give a lot of excuses, but it's real. If a woman does not feel sexually satisfied, this is a human brain. I tell you all the time, it's opolaja. It's just fish inside. It has to be taken care of. Everybody. It has to be taken care of somehow, some way. Maybe it's not your fault. I'm just letting you know that your spouse may not be there. They may not be satisfied, and they may not even be able to explain it exactly. Not satisfied is not satisfied, and that's why at the end of the day, any one of this, you don't want to take it personally. You just want to learn how it works so you can use it in your favor, so you can have a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage. You just want to know how these things work. The problem with a lot of people is that they think happy marriage and relationship fall out of the skies. Oh, boom, I found myself in one. No, it doesn't.
You have to nurture it.
Anything that's worthwhile in life requires investment.
Work.
Right? You can't ask for returns on investment if you haven't invested anything. Effort, work. I don't know how you want to say it. Some people hate when I say work. But dude, anything that you've ever wanted.
Well, it's just as easy as when you think about your career, whatever you do for yourself, you put a lot of work and effort into that,
you want it back.
And it moves forward.
Right.
The same way you have to apply that in your marriage.
And you also know it's going to be worthwhile once you get on the other side of it.
Right.
Know? And that's why it's even sweeter if you've gone through crisis and you come out of it. Because now you have a frame of reference, a place that you don't want to go to anymore.
That's true.
So if you are going through crisis or anything like that, there's if you're on what do you call it? They were telling Tim on TV yesterday. If you're on ground zero, right? You're on your lowest, right? The only place to go is up. So I just want you to be encouraged when it comes to that. All right, so let's keep going here.
Wait, but still, the conversations have to be hard.
No, like conversation. So what do you mean hard? You mean like
you have to have the conversations. Okay, right. There are men that shy away from this. Their wives can't even say anything. Let me say,
like, if you find yourself in a situation where it's there's sexual miscompatibility, is that a word? Right, mismatch, right? You need to learn how seduction works. Okay, you need to learn it. Go find a book on the art of seduction. Go Google it. Go search on. You can even read Robert Greene's book, The Heart of Seduction. There are tons of books on this topic. Just become a student of it. First of all, the thrill of learning how it works will turn you on. Okay, and then the thrill of having to seduce another person to satisfy you sexually, it's even better. Okay, and that whole process will turn the other person on, or you will learn how to turn them on to satisfy you. It's a journey, like every other sexual.
And that's where I agree that it's not necessarily about the size of the D. No. Like someone can literally let you get there even before touching you.
Yeah,
you're
no,
ready.
But don't we do that? We do that. You get excited about people that you haven't even had any sex with. You can literally imagine it in your head, and you can come off of that.
So it's really the act of seduction.
It's just the mind. That's what it comes down to. You make it work. What you got in life, you have to learn how to make it work.
Yes.
Yoruba people will say, "Oani, right? You got 2-3 inches, whatever it is, right? There are ways to make it work. Just got to educate yourself. It starts from educating yourself. What I can say is this: a lot of people get into a situation and then suddenly find out, well, there's something that you fell in love with that still made you find yourself in that situation.
I hope so.
I hope so, because somebody was asking me. Somebody said topic arranging marriage, or I was like, that arranging marriage thing is beyond me.
Well, Indians do it, and I don't know.
Well,
I think
I'm not saying it's wrong.
Success
I'm
rate.
just saying I would need to hear more, just like everything else. Anyway, I need to hear more specific cases before I can help. But if you literally were never attracted physically or sexually to the person you're with, that's a problem.
For me,
that's when when Nigerian people, when you go to the hospital and Nigerian doctors will say, first a little, how do you say that in English? Go seek traditional methods. At that point in time, I say the people that hook you up, the arranging people, maybe you should seek help from them, right?
Okay.
But the truth is that anyone can be attracted to each other. You can spark it off anyhow. You can get excited about it. Honestly, if you just become a student of it, that enough. Because you're going to learn so much, right? The problem again is people go into a relationship. When you meet a person, we all have that, right? There's a part here we're talking about. By the way, we're talking about why do women cheat, right?
Right.
There's a little subsection here. Okay, it's called the lack of sizzle, newness, and excitement, right?
That's real.
That's real.
Very real.
Every one of us, when we see something new, we're excited.
Yes.
Right? And if it's not new anymore, it's just that much less. It's that less attractive, right?
It is.
Right. If you give my daughter, if this and if you leave it like that hanging and it's kind of like an old phone and you don't touch it anymore, she doesn't want it either. And she's 18 months. That's all of us. We're all like that. So now the reason why, so if we're all like that, why would we be in a marriage or a long-term relationship, a healthy relationship? Because there are other things that would benefit off of being together in a companionship with the person that you love.
Yes.
And it's person just because they were good sexually. None of that. It's usually it's not good. The sex is but they fell in love with that person and married that person. Now they have to figure out the sex part because it helps, because eventually that will drain you guys if you don't fix that, right? But the truth is that most people marry a person for way beyond sex.
Right.
So if a woman cheats because of sex, it's because that there's lack of sizzle, newness, and excitement. That's one of the many reasons. It's because the couple got complacent.
Yes.
Things became stagnant, stale.
Right.
Like, and it's now smelly.
Right.
Like it's just the same thing. Everyone is predictable. You know when I wake up, there's no spiciness in this. One of the reasons why I love, at least me, I think you do too, but discussing this stuff is because it's exciting to come here every weekend.
Yes,
and talk
Friday.
About this stuff. It's part of our ways of spicing things. I tell people all the time, if you just have the courage, both of you together, finding a way where you discuss this kind of things, it will help your marriage a whole lot more. But the problem is that, because I remember before our 10th year anniversary,
right,
we didn't have maybe more of gossip. At some point. How much the past being seduction. They won't. Okay, what does I just don't feel right? It just doesn't feel right, and it's
they want
true.
To replace,
yes,
that person,
and it's true that it doesn't feel right. but I'm saying it can be fixed.
Yeah.
Just like if you get into a new program, like I want to take up a new master's program, and that's exciting, right? Or you closed a new deal, things like that make you feel excited, right? If you engage in those things, like I said, it gets you excited. It's the same thing in a marriage. Like I said, if you're lacking, it doesn't matter if you're a man or woman. Okay, there are women who have been seductresses over the ages. These are ancient knowledge. Okay, we're talking about the Cleopatras.
Sirens.
We're talking about all the different queens out there. And even in Yoruba land, Igbo land, there's a woman who literally left her husband and went and pretended to be another king's wife in Igbo land just to steal just to spy on them. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. But the problem is that most people don't do that. It's part of power play. Most people don't think, they just think, oh, you just get married, everything is rosy. Let's pray about it, right? Just switch off the red thing, right? That's the problem. But the truth is that we are predictable. As human beings, we are extremely predictable.
Right.
We're extremely predictable. We have Auntie Shola Awe here, DNV Vlogs.
Hey,
TV.
Aunt Shola.
We have Kenny is still here. Communication is key. Yes, communication is key.
See, so that communication is real. Again, a lot of women don't feel heard. That's another reason right there. Right. If you can't talk to your spouse, you don't feel like they even
so let's
hear
relate
you.
it back to cheating, right? So if a woman doesn't feel heard, right, you can't penetrate her either by way of physically or emotionally. You can't. She will close the legs physically and emotionally, and to you specifically, and then she will get excited about the thought of other men. Okay, is it right or wrong? Oh yeah, the judges. Yeah, it is wrong. It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Okay, everything is wrong. As a matter of fact, some people, yeah, it is wrong, but we don't care if it's wrong or right, because again, we'll all fall short, and we have different ways that we feed our needs in a wrongful way. Some people feed the mouth wrongfully, right? How many people do you know that? I was just telling you that I think I might have eating disorder. There's certain ways I don't want to eat, but I find myself eating that way. Right. I don't want to eat at 9 o'clock. That's when sometimes I just have the craving for rice and obe. Right? Is it wrong? Absolutely, it's wrong.
For your body,
but come and tell me that it's wrong when I want to eat rice at 9 o'clock. I said, it's wrong. I know it's wrong, but I need to eat this rice right now. So somebody said some women cheat, specifically if they suffer with low self-esteem. Absolutely. Let's just jump through that. Let's explain low self-esteem. Okay, it looked like you were thinking about us, or we're thinking the same thing. Low self-esteem, what does that mean to you?
Lack of confidence.
Lack of confidence.
You don't like where you are, who you are. You don't even know who you are.
Yeah,
you're lost.
What I can tell you is that lack of self-esteem is wide. It's a wide range of things. But
and so many things can cause it too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lack of self-esteem is a symptom by itself. There are other things that causes that. A lot of people's childhood trauma
that's real
will cause low self-esteem. How the father treated her. It could be how the mother treated her. Right? She's just always looking for validations in other places.
Trust issues.
And even if she's heard it in church before that, you can't find happiness outside of you. It's still a big deal. Like, that's just theory now. Practicing is a different thing.
It's different.
Even though it's absolutely right. Happiness is never going to come from outside of you. It's you feeling adequate about yourself inside. That's what makes you want to work out. That's what makes you want to eat right. Most of the time. You're going to eat wrong sometimes.
But then that'll be okay. You're not going to kill yourself over
and
that.
Yes, you can judge me and tell me it's wrong too, but it's still okay. Right? So childhood trauma is a big deal. How people grow up. If you move, like there's some girls, if you move them around too much, different high schools and stuff like that, that will mess with their brain. And it has nothing to do with the parent was wrong or right. The parent was doing what they thought was right. Maybe a job moved them and stuff like that.
So
maybe
lack of stability.
Lack of stability, or lack of stability or too much stability. You just never know what triggers particular human being. The point is that lack of self-esteem by itself is a symptom. So if your wife cheated on you, some also will say, this is lack of self-esteem that's affecting you. You do that kind of shit. that's
push
not
that
go-
away.
that's not going to help
That
you
doesn't
either.
make any sense.
Because again, you're talking about a symptom. Hey, you have a pimple in your eyes. I know I have a pimple. Don't leave me alone, right? What is it that's causing consistent pimples for me to have consistent breakout on my face? Am I eating wrong? You have to do what they call the root cause analysis.
Right.
So you're absolutely right. A cause of cheating can be lack of self-esteem, but you have to dig a little deeper. What is the cause of the low self-esteem, right? Now I'm talking to everybody. You should just know why these things happen, because again, it's very hard to tell people don't take it personally. Either you as the perpetrator of the transgressions, or you as the quote unquote victim. You think you're a victim, but you're not really a victim if your wife cheated. Not really. But I get it why you may feel like a victim. I understand it. But you're in a better position if you understand that, oh my shit, that's where you find yourself. You need another D.
Jesus.
It's a better position of understanding, because then you won't judge her. Because that may just be all she needed. Somebody who doesn't judge her. Why is it that you're looking at yourself over there?
No, I'm
you're
not.
Looking at monitor. Speaking of narcissism, let's go to the next one. Some people say narcissistic is a narcissistic behavior for a woman to cheat and be trying to use excuses like Jada Pinkett talking about entanglement. Let's call it what it is.
Oh my God.
Right?
Judgmental people.
It's hard to talk to someone with self-esteem problem. Then you gotta watch what you say to them. Absolutely.
Yep.
That's absolutely. But that's not just self-esteem, it's everything in relationship, because anytime you say things in a way that you're not using wisdom, it's gonna come off as an attack.
If you're a blunt talker,
you speak blunt.
You can't do that.
It's a terrible language. I'm just a blunt speaker. It's terrible language.
I'm a realist.
You're gonna hurt in relationships.
I just say it the way it is.
I'm a realist.
Oh my God, your relationship will be like this.
You can't do that. You can't do that. And if you're doing that, there's only time.
It's a matter of time.
Before you find yourself in a situation where either your woman cheats or you as a woman cheats on your husband or your significant other. You just look for validation in other places. That's what it is. Now, are there people, like some people say there's just some cheaters, but even yes, you're absolutely right. By the way, all of them are cheaters. If you find yourself, except, here's an exception. Some people told you they don't want to do anymore. Yes, they haven't filed for divorce. Oh yeah, but she has no rights. She's still legally married. She should stay. Says who? Whose rule is that? Says you. Oh well, your opinion suddenly does not count anymore.
Right.
Right. I like saying it this way so you can see the reality of where you come from a very judgmental standpoint.
Yes.
It's like who your judgment help. Nobody. Not even you yourself.
Stop it.
You are better off understanding how human beings behave, because you yourself, you're a subject of that same matter. Because the way you behave yourself, you're also we're all in the same boat. We all have fish brain. That's, by the way, that's not a scientific terminology. That's just my way of saying, don't overrate your brain. You're just human like the rest of us, right? And you deserve to understand how it works so that you can have a healthy relationship. Okay, you have to go into a relationship to give into it. Okay, you always, if you love that person enough, you have to focus on giving into that relationship, nurturing that relationship, because you know that the return on investment is just going to be that nice. And if you don't feel like the return on investment is worth it, why don't you honorably bow out of the relationship? It could even be temporary.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, if a person already told you, I just don't feel right about this, I'm not sure if I want to be in this relationship. Now you found them cheating, and you now say, oh, you cheated, you're still legal. Okay. Yes. And right. But right there, that's another reason why some people want to escape. They just want to escape. It's an exit. It's an escape. Yes, they were dishonest about it. Yes, they wouldn't want you to find out that way. Because remember, they're usually not in their best fit brain. Psychic, right? Like mental state.
Right.
They're not in the best. Like a person who is in their best fit. How do I say that? Help me now. A person who is not fit psychologically right now,
Mentally.
right? A person who is fit psychologically will not cheat. Okay. And when I say that, I'm talking with respect to that particular matter. They could be the best manager or leader or director at work, but just in that aspect of life, they're weak.
They're weak, yes.
Because if they weren't weak, they would just say, you know what, I don't want to be in this shit anymore. I want to move on to the other person.
Right.
But they are finding themselves in between and they can't make a decision.
They can't make a decision. Yes.
Lack of decision-making ability is a weakness, you know? So, and it's real. Sometimes some people, this is the hardest thing to decide. Should I move on or I just want this one-time thrill before I move on? That's a real question. If a person is that weak and then some useless guy come up corner, hotel, when they went to some vacation somewhere, it's a wrap.
A vacation bay.
Vacation bay.
That shit is real.
Entanglements on vacay. It's real.
Oh, Lord,
and it could be anybody.
Yes.
It could be anybody. See, I grew up in church. I'm still a church boy.
You are a church boy, for real.
And
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday kind of thing.
No, not now. When I was
back then, when you were growing up.
Okay, I was traumatized.
Oh my God.
That's why sometimes I don't mind Sunday off sometimes now.
Trauma.
Speaking of childhood trauma, right? But I grew up in there, and ever since I've been young, as in 7, 8 years old, I've been seeing prophet impregnate another prophet, and they are not married, and they actually have their own husband inside of the church, or they have a person they were dating in the church, and it becomes like a drama. People are people.
Okay.
At the end of the day, why is it that they did that? It's because they were wrong. No, dude, that's just status quo. Okay, that's not why they did that. Why do women cheat? It's not because they're wrong. Let's just call it what it is. Now, this is a semantics problem. This is a math problem right now.
Right.
Okay. We ask the question, why do women cheat? And your answer is like, let's just call it what it is. It's just a cheat. They just want to hold his body. Oh, it's a woman.
Oh, she's just a hoe.
She's just a hoe, right?
Like, come on.
Yeah. You're not helping yourself. And what's going to happen is that you're going to set yourself up for failure because your own woman may not cheat in that form. But that same behavior, you're going to translate it into your own relationship. And you're going to cheat on each other in a different way. It doesn't have to be sexual, all right? But you will cheat yourself out of a quality relationship because your outlook on life is judgmental. You don't see the best in scenarios. You don't see the best. You don't see how something can look wrong right now. But if you always see something that's wrong and your mind is like, I know there's something good inside of this. If you lead with that, if that's your outlook on life, you will translate that back into your relationship.
Right.
Your spouse will feel safe.
Right.
They will feel like they should come to you and tell you. So I'm
anything.
So we're saying all this stuff not just because of cheating, because it translates to it could be at your job. If your outlook is on somebody's about to do you, somebody's out to get you all the time, you will suffer. Because you're going to attract exactly that, because you're going to shoot out that energy.
Yes.
And they're going to reciprocate accordingly. Okay.
I agree.
Lola is here. Lola says men cheat the same reason men cheat. So can you explain to me why only 34% of women cheat when they already have a happy marriage and 56% of men cheat in spite of happy marriage? Can you explain the difference, this discrepancy in that for me? Maybe you know something that we don't know, So narcissism,
feel free to call in, Daddy.
Yeah, you can call in too, please. Oh, speaking of calling in, let me drop that link here for anybody who wants to call in through Facebook or YouTube. I'm going to drop that link right about now. All right. So awesome. Are we enjoying the topic? Any questions? Oh, if you're watching us on Instagram, you'll be the judge. Should I send them to lola.com/live? I think it's easier.
Whatever works.
All right, let's do this.
Right.
If you're watching us on Instagram Live right now, we want to continue the conversation, okay? Just go to Lola and Ola.com/live and click the very top video. We're live right there, okay? So we can keep everything for the last batch of the the last leg of the conversation in one place. But you have 1 minute and 20 seconds to do that. This Instagram live is going to disappear in 1 minute and 13 seconds. But we appreciate you, but we would like you to join us there on either YouTube or Facebook. But YouTube, just go to www.lolaandola.com/live. LIVE. Bratike is just coming in all late. Go and meet us on YouTube and Facebook. And
you Bratike alone. Hey,
YouTube, just lolaandola.com/live. Okay. All right. So thank you so much for stopping by. I appreciate you. I appreciate everyone.
Yes.
lolaandola.com/live. That's where you want to join us. Okay. Just go there and join us right now. I'm saying that over and over. We have 30 seconds. So you can join us at lolaandola.com/live. We got more things to talk about. Why do women cheat?
It's not just about the
why.
It's not just about
they just want to hold your body. That's what somebody said. Like they just want to be a prostitute. Let them go and be a prostitute.
That is so harsh.
Is it harsh?
Yes, it is.
You know, one of the problems is that women never admit to their wrongs too.
Well, maybe men put women in a place where they feel they have to defend themselves all the time.
Well,
maybe that's why.
Well, you just give another excuse.
Well, there's so many reasons why women, I feel like I've just heard it all. Like emotional needs, that's real. A woman just don't want to be poked, but like you're treating your wife like crap.
So are you saying
she can't talk to you, but in the night you want to come and shook something? Are you out of your mind?
So what about me? Am I firewood?
It's the act of the seduction thing that you're talking about. That is real. You can't treat someone like crap and feel like that you're entitled to their punani. Hell no. I choose who comes in there, period. You're going to be disrespectful. You're not going to get none. How am I supposed to just open my legs and just allow you in after you just, you made me feel some type of way, feel like trash.
Right. Yep.
But men don't understand that. They're like, separate the issues.
Yes.
It's time to do the
and I agree that men, for the most part, don't understand that.
No, they don't.
For the most part,
they don't.
Most men don't understand that. But there are also women who don't understand that.
They don't understand.
But we're talking about women. Let's just focus.
Oh, let's focus on women.
Yeah, Auntie Shola here trying to support you already. Just leave me alone, okay? Okay. Leave me alone.
Yes, so Auntie Shola, Abi. Come on
Talk
now.
About thank you.
You want to seduce my mind. You can't just all roughly just come and give me the. I don't want the D. How about that?
Yeah. A woman has to be penetrated here first.
Okay.
And the only way that's going to happen is they feel heard. If they don't feel heard, it won't happen. A man needs to feel like he's the hero. If he doesn't feel like he's the hero, he's going to do everything wrong.
Feel emasculated and then he'll be acting like a...
Including, he won't make you feel heard.
Yeah,
he will do, if he doesn't feel... So I'm telling you right now, it's back and forth.
It is
I prefer that a man leaves the dance. I prefer that personally because you're a leader. It's a man's world. Okay. At least the majority of the world still believes that. So it's reality, So you should lead. Make her feel heard first. That means you can penetrate everywhere.
Even in the ear. And the nose.
Right?
I'm just saying.
You just want to be nasty.
Oh, I'm not nasty. I'm just keeping it real.
All right. So let's go back here and discuss some of these things. So are these all excuses? I mean, call it whatever you want to call them, but they're all legitimate excuses as far as I'm concerned, because these are what makes the mind work. So we mentioned earlier, we talked about, let me pull this up here. We mentioned earlier the lack of self-esteem. That's not your fault, but doesn't mean you should judge other people with it. You can't lead with that. You say you have low self-esteem. I think that's why. She's not going to receive that, because again, if you come off like that, she's going to naturally feel an attack, and people that feel attacked will defend. Okay, and defend sometimes will mean offend, meaning they will attack you.
They will hit you in the
and then you now hear that they never admit to when they're wrong. Yeah, it's now you lead. If you feel like your woman is not admitting to when she's wrong, you're just not listening long enough. That's just what it comes down to.
True.
I agree. There are times that I feel like she's not just gonna admit. Like you just not gonna admit
I'm
that,
just
right?
not in the mood.
Yeah, she doesn't go.
I'm not just gonna give you that. I'm not gonna make you. I'm not trying to make you feel good. I'm trying to hurt your feelings in that moment.
We have a, bro, ticket. That's what you came in late. That's why you're saying this now. Eh?
What did the ticket
Talk about
say?
I hate women who cheat. Me too.
Hey,
actually, I don't hate women who cheat. I don't hate
That's
women
very
who cheat.
strong. I empathize with women who cheat.
Yeah, instead of hating a woman who cheats, I empathize with them.
Because there's a reason why that's happening.
I feel sorry for a woman who cheats or who cheated or who is going to cheat. Because it's a terrible state of mind for a woman to be in, for her to feel like she needed that as some form of validation. That's what it is.
Some out.
Some people, as an out, as an exit. I was just talking just now. There's another one here. I was going to put it on the screen. Exit or escape. If your woman cheated on you, don't take it personally. It's an exit, it's an escape. It could be from their own brain. They may be hearing voices in their own head. You just don't know. You don't know what kind of trauma somebody is bringing to the table. It could be you too, by the way. You could be an abuser.
Yeah, okay? It could be revenge cheating.
Yeah,
that's real.
Are you thinking about? Listen, I was ready.
Revenge.
Yeah, because it could be revenge.
A woman can be pushed to the point that she feels like the guy cheats all the time, and she's been taken, and now she just want to feel good.
Now what's
wrong with feeling good? Yeah. Let me get some attention. I want to feel good.
No, it's for the fellas. It's very important that I stress this part. When Jada said, I just haven't felt good for so long.
She didn't feel good for so long.
That will hurt every man I know.
Yeah. It's real talk.
Even me, that I understand that state of mind. Okay? Like, what do you mean?
You haven't made me feel good in a long time.
What do you mean? How dare you? You see, that will come off as an attack. But remember what I said? As a man, you're a leader. You're supposed to at least be a leader when everything else fails. Okay? A woman may not be ready to be a leader. She may just want to be a woman. Okay? You need to step up and be a king in that point in time. She just want to feel good. Like, yeah, I told you. Thank God you made yourself feel good. I don't make people happy. I'm not God. I don't make people happy. You need to make me happy. How about that? How dare you? Right? That may be your attitude about it.
But for many, it hurts worse for them because, the ego is in it. Like, what do you mean? You don't need anyone outside of me. The thought that a woman will have a side nigga or a side dude, it kills most men. They can't handle it. Yeah. Whereas women have been there sitting down while you have your side chicks and side bitches, and they've been dealing with it.
Yeah. So yeah, she wilding. She was definitely wilding. But again, she's in that state.
It wasn't she needed.
She was describing the state of mind where she was. She never said she was the strongest human being at that point in time. She never said that. She made it clear that she was going through a lot.
She was going through it. She was weak. Yes. She needed to, she needed an out in that moment. And unfortunately, that was the out.
Yes. That's more realistic when you think about it. When you think about the psychology of it, it's more realistic than anything else you want. She just wants to be evil. She just Jezebel. Or she just wants to be a prostitute. Okay, good for you. You call her the name you want to call her. But that's not the real issue.
That's not the issue.
And these issues of a woman not feeling heard enough will come in your own marriage at some point.
Oh, yeah, in different forms.
In different forms. Yours may not be in the form of August.
Of a man.
Of Og. Okay?
But
yours may not come in that form. It will come in a way that it is your weakest point as well. And the way you react is everything. The way your reactions to that's a whole chapter in our book. Your reaction to that is going to be everything. And I didn't say you have to stay in a marriage. That's not what I'm saying. I didn't say you have to leave. It has nothing to do with none of that. The fact of staying in a marriage, if you want to be the person you want to be with, she has the right to stay in the marriage. He has the right to stay with that woman. The real issue is the ongoing issues.
Yes.
The everyday, as you're relating, because even if you leave her, right, she's going to become your ex-baby mama. How you relate with her is still going to affect your life. So you can't run from life. You can run and go and fight divorce, but you can't really run from yourself. It's like running from your shadow. Every time you look, there you are again.
Yeah.
Right? You can't, So it's very, very, very important. Thank you for coming by over here, Lola. I noticed your last name there. I think that's her.
Oh yeah. That's Lola. She said in the ear, LOL. Oh my god.
Yeah. So Bratike, I'm sure if you want to call in, please, there's a link in the chat group to call in with. I'm sure you get it, but that's just how you feel. You're expressing your feeling too. That's how you feel about a woman that cheats. A lot of men have been traumatized right from high school. Maybe your girlfriend dumped them for the most popular guy, right? So that creates trauma for some people. I didn't experience that, but I realized later on that
women that she's a
even
hoe.
their own wife, they're always looking through the phones and looking for
What's she
hints.
doing?
One of the most biggest number one searches on the internet is signs that my woman is cheating.
Interesting.
They're snooping.
Wow.
But that just tells you how real it is. A lot of men, people like to say men are not emotional, a bunch of bullshit. But
I agree.
If you have time to be Googling signs that of a woman cheating, if you have time for that, that's emotions. So, but again, a person who is searching for that is also in a weak moment.
Yeah.
And if you do more of that, your energy around the house in that relationship will show eventually you're actually going to push her to you're going to attract what you fear the most.
Right.
And not, some people think that's a spiritual statement. No, it's not. It's just that your other behaviors will show up and push that person.
The energy that you're putting out is going to attract that same toxic situation.
Yeah, and it's not a kumbaya flying in the air Holy thing. No, it's a real thing that happens every day in our lives. If I wake up nasty, stank attitude every day.
Oh my God.
Because right?
For no reason.
That's going to be contagious.
Yeah,
at some point, no matter how strong you are, if I do that consistent long enough, it's going to become an issue. Are these the reasons why women cheat? Yeah. They're all part of it.
It could be.
Okay. I'm not talking about her judgment. I'm not sending her to hellfire. No, I'm not God. Okay. I'm telling you the reasons why she may find herself in a weak moment where she feels the need to validate herself in the form of that behavior. Yeah. Terrible behavior? I guess. Yes, sure. You know why? Because it hurts the other person if they find out. Right? Heck, it hurts her herself. By the time she finished doing that, she will find out that
still don't feel good.
Like Jada said, you still don't feel good. You still don't feel good. But how did you know that it still doesn't feel good? Because you tried it. How do children know that something burned? Right? I just finished 2 days ago, right? And my daughter, she wanted to touch it, the popcorn.
Oh,
I said, let her touch it.
Yeah.
That's how she's going to know.
Yeah, she won't do it again.
Now, some touching will burn you. Okay? There's a video I shared on my Instagram page of the lady who was trying to burn up the car of her ex or something like that.
Talk about toxic situations.
Right?
Why do you feel the need to want to destroy properties because the person cheated? That's extreme. Yeah, that will only burn you. And what happened to her? She got arrested and put in jail.
Oh, she did, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know the end story.
Oh my God. And she was still smiling in a mug shot. I was like, this one is crazy.
We said earlier in the beginning that cheating is not a crime in any country in the world. You can use it in a civil, is it family court, I guess, to have an upper hand in
it's more of a, I think over here, it's bigamy that is a crime. Like you can actually... Yeah,
because you're signing legal documents twice.
But cheating is not a
crime. But like infidelity, like it's not. So you should always think now, does that mean it's okay to do it? No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to tell you is that the best approach, if you know somebody that's encountering that situation, is terrible. It feels horrible for you to find out that somebody cheated on you. It feels terrible. That's why statements like "I hate women who cheat" comes out, because it's a real feeling, but you want to rise above that, or you want to stay in that stank too, because if you stay in it, you're going to make things worse, and that
if you're not going to forgive, it's going to get worse.
Yeah, including if you leave the relationship, if you walk away with that stank feeling about it, right?
You're going to transfer it to the next relationship.
You're just going to transfer that insecurity into the next relationship. You're going to start looking over your shoulder every time your next new woman,
you're going to be looking at her sideways, checking her phone, doing all kind of craziness.
Yeah. It will cross your mind all the time if you don't focus back on yourself and say, how can I rise above what just happened? Number one way is don't judge. Okay, the Bible made it so clear for those of you that follow the Bible. That judge thing is literally.
For you not to be able to judge, you have to be very strong.
Yes.
Because knee-jerk reaction is like, yo, this person's just evil for doing what
overreact.
they did. You overreact.
You feel like she's
instead of asking what happened, what changed. I mean, is it me? Is it you? Is it, what could I have done to make it better?
Let me see if I can read this Yoruba. What do you say to the Yoruba adage that says, "Obìnrin tó bá yànlè fẹ́ ṣe ikú pa ọkọ
my
ni"? It's difficult to validate the cheating because it's always been said that two wrongs don't make it right. Okay, so let's talk about
You know what? Those Owe, can I first of all say those Owe were made? Okay.
No, but that Owe is still on point.
He's on. Let me finish. Let me finish. Okay. That's the same way I feel about certain things about the Bible. To put down women and control women. Forget that thing. So,
that's not what the Owe just said.
What about Okurito? That can kill the man, the woman.
He answered it for you already. What you just said, he answered. He said two wrongs.
I get that, but okay. I'm just so tired of hearing about all these rules made for women.
All right,
but then men.
Tired. Let me explain.
I'm a woman. I know what it feels like.
To be judged.
You're not. We're talking about we're not even getting heard. Okay, in the society, in our husband's house. Okay.
Yeah.
And now you're talking about what the society is, the rules the society have put in place to manipulate women.
Yeah.
I don't like those Owe. They get on my nerves.
No, we should.
I can't stand them.
We should.
And those Owe don't help relationships or marriages. I can tell you that right now.
That link I just dropped. If you want to chime in and you want to talk, that's fine. So let me.
He said even when the husband cheats.
He's trying to balance it, but he didn't need to. But I get.
But that's where everyone.
We don't need
goes
to balance.
to.
The topic is why do women cheat, and we have to try our best to stay on that. We can have another session for why do men cheat. We already said.
So now we're just focusing on the women. By the way,
Lola, I didn't hear you tell me why there's discrepancy. 34% women that cheat are in a happy marriage when they do, but 56% of men.
That's very interesting.
But 56% of men.
But you answered it. Is the sizzle, the newness,
well, men
complacency.
That's all equal. Everybody wants that too. Like if you roll wrapper around the house, nasty, dirty one all the time too. That's gonna be a turn off for me too, right? So that's.
I mean, it's a turn off for me too. Yeah. I mean, I
think it goes back to it goes back to what you were just saying, which is the what do you call it?
Debbie, it's okay to use words that you can pronounce. Please stop it.
Yeah, but I think
I get what you're saying.
About.
Yeah,
there's a man's word mentality.
It's
a real thing.
Right,
it affects everything across board. And men do have that permission from the society to do that, and they don't get judged as much, even by women. Okay?
Even by women.
That's all that is. That's where that statistics came from. Okay, so but it's real. A man will want to be in a marriage, and he cares about his marriage. Misogyny. See, that's my cousin. She knows. She knows. Misogyny. That's the word.
To the rescue.
I said misogyny. Everybody's probably laughing right now. Misogyny. Yeah, it's the misogyny thing. Okay, it's real. It's just what it is. Even women judge themselves.
No, actually, I found out that women judge women the most when it comes to these situations.
Yep. So now, with that being said, not directly. Not directly. It in fact can kill the husband.
Right.
Okay, because there are a lot of dumb men out here that are also very low. Not only in IQ, in EQ, very low psychologically. They only chase after. They only feel validated when they see unavailable women who are weak. That's when they feel their own power, right? They can't, like me, I can step out there right now. Any girl, 25, 26, 23, I have the skills, actual skills, to say I can woo any one of them and they'll fall for me, right? But these guys, they don't do that. That's not what they're doing. They're looking for an ex on the phone or a friend or something that's easy, like the low-hanging fruits. That's what they're looking to pluck. And what's low-hanging fruit? Another woman who is not necessarily emotionally available, but they find themselves in a weak moment.
Yeah, in a weak moment.
And it camouflages as available. You see what I'm saying? So if that person, you don't think they can cause life and death issues for that family?
Yeah, because they eventually are the ones that get entitled. It's like this Yoruba you always.
See now,
and they don't
and they are usually like
and they're usually that way.
Pratik is enjoying this.
Just like Og. I'm sorry. I get it that he has a mental problem, but guy is really hot that she's not giving him the attention that she usually did.
The hogs that get in a situationship entanglement with an unavailable woman, but gets mad at the world
because they can't get what they want.
He calls it his own name too. He's also weak emotionally. That's just what that is. But he calls it whatever name. He calls it all this different name. I'm weak. I had trauma from childhood. He calls all this, and they're real. It's true. He had all those things, so he can't really think straight. He falls for a woman, a way older woman that can have her as a son.
That can have him as a son.
Sorry. My struggle with English. So, what that means in English, for those of you that are wondering, what the heck? A woman who
has a concubine.
Who has a concubine, or who is having an affair, a boyfriend. A woman who has an extramarital affair. Wants to kill her husband. That's what
deliberately.
That's what the sentence means. That's what the sentence means. That's what the sentence means as far as literally.
Yes.
But there's no sentence that's literally in Yoruba. It's about, can it in fact cause life and death issues?
I understand that he can.
Yeah.
But the fact that mama, like she deliberately went out there and get a concubine. She deliberately wants to kill her husband.
No. That's not how Yorubas are said. If you say Aja to bafe son, that's not saying that the Aja will not. That's a dog that wants to get lost or that wants to. Is that the right one? So struggle. A dog that's going to go missing.
That's wandering around.
That's going to go missing. Will not hear the flute of the
whistle, actually.
The owner of the dog. The whistle. That's a flute. A flute sounds like fairy too, right? Will not hear the whistle of its owner. Okay? A dog that's going to go missing will not hear the whistle of its owner.
So that's a Yoruba.
That doesn't mean that the dog is deliberately not hearing. The dog does not have the ability to hear.
Okay.
A woman who is having extramarital affair may not have the ability. Actually has the ability to kill herself and kill her husband and kill her children, because the people they engage with obviously don't have that moral compass, or they're in a very weak state too. And when we say weak state mentally, that can go as far as, that can start from as little anger to a person that will kill you and commit suicide, a suicidal murder. Right? There are crazy things happening out there with regards to people that have extramarital affairs. Just watch TV. They're all on TV. The news are out there.
My God,
she had an affair. You don't think fatal affair is real?
Fatal affair. I mean, a lot of.
That's what that way is saying. It doesn't mean deliberate.
Okay.
For you that want to get defensive.
I thought they said it's deliberate. That's what I got from that.
Right. So, but digging deeper into that is a testament that you should have empathy for that woman who is in that state of mind, not hate them. Because if you happen to have one in your life, which every one of us have somebody in our life, you may just not know, right? If you happen to have one, if you're going to be in a position to help them or the person that's being cheated on, you want to tell them not to be judgmental, to calm their butt down.
It's not about you right now.
Yeah, she didn't do that because you're just a terrible person. No. She did that because she's in a terrible state of mind. She didn't do that because she's a terrible person. She did that because she's in this terrible state of mind.
Yeah, they can't separate that. They're like, woe to the woman. Just kill her.
If you can't separate that, the Bible said,
oh my God, she's a cheat. Kill her now.
Yeah. If you can't separate that, you will struggle with other aspects of relationship and marriage.
Yeah, fact.
If you can't separate that, the person can be in a terrible state of mind or they're just a terrible person. Those are two different things. Are there terrible people in the world? Absolutely. Okay. For the most part, that's not the case. For the most part, we're just talking relationship like as relates to most human beings. We're going to hurt each other sometimes, and sometimes, not sometimes. For the most part, most people will have that knee-jerk reaction, overreact to how you hurt me, and then I end up hurting you. And
Tit for tat.
and then you hear people say, "Hurt people, hurt people." That's real.
Fact.
That's real. All right. Thank you for stopping by, Auntie Shola. All right. So
Thank you, Auntie Shola.
So let's go back to all right. So all right. So let's talk about this one: boredom, loneliness, and neglect.
That's real too. There's some people that are in their marriage by themselves. Spouse is never around.
Whose fault is that? Some people are listening to whose fault is that? Tell me whose fault is that? It's not about faults. It's not about guilt. Guilt, blame, fault. They don't help your relationship. Okay. You can identify as what it is if you need to do that. If you're going to a divorce court, they need to know whose fault is it so we can see who receive more money. Sure. Okay. But you can even let lawyers do that for you. They will tell you even other places where she could have been wrong too, so you can get more money. Okay.
They figure it out for you.
All right. However, if you're going to be in a relationship with this person, which you will, if you have children with them, even if you divorce, you will be in a relationship with that person. And that relationship will affect the quality of your life. Okay. If you will, then you need to understand beyond just fault, understand beyond blame, understand beyond guilt. Okay. You need to understand why did she do what she did? How did that contribute into that situation? Oh, some people say, how I contribute? Why does that have to be my fault? I didn't make it. She made the choice. Good. You're not a lawyer. Granted. Okay. That's not the topic. Okay. The topic is this. If you get with another woman tomorrow, how do you avoid this kind of situation? Okay. How do you attract a person that would not be in that terrible state of mind? Because remember, good people do bad things. And bad things happen to good people.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, I know the pastors don't want to say that, but it's real. Okay? All right? That's just life. Okay? So with that at the back of your mind, you need to understand that legacies that you leave behind in this life, it's going to be about what kind of impact you left on other people, emotionally speaking. And it lives on long beyond you. And that's the only important things in life. Okay? Not the material things, not how much money you made, not how much time.
No, people will never forget. They say people will never forget how you treat them. That's real.
Not how long you spent with them either. It's the impact. It could be just that one little moment, that memory that you like. If you think about us, right? We remember things that happened to us in childhood within 1 year. It feels like it was 10 years back then, because we're trying to measure it in time, but God doesn't measure things like that. It's the impact that matters. So how does that translate to this? Okay, we're talking about boredom, loneliness, neglect. Okay, like if you are in a position where you're at work as a man, right? And you have a tendency to go to work, you don't text. Hey babe, just thinking about you. I love you. Right? You don't text. Okay, you don't do that though. Okay. After that, you want to do happy hour.
With your buddies, eh?
With your buddies. With the work wife.
Okay, work bay is real. Work bay is real.
Right.
Oh my God.
Well, you could be doing that and not even mean any harm, but harm is happening. So you do that. Your intentions is not to harm your wife. You're just kind of complacent, just like everyone gets to that space at some point.
Oh yeah.
Oh, she's home. She's happy. She's good. She'll check on me if she needs to. She needs me to help her. But you kind of lost yourself in the middle of that. She becomes the homie because you guys are best friends for real. But she's not the homie. You forget she's a woman, right? And she's been trying to tell you that you don't listen to me, but you don't even know what that means. You're like, I don't listen to you. I just heard what you said. You don't even know what that means, right?
Yeah, defensive.
Right. And then remember them niggas, right? That snoop around the corner.
Oh, the side dudes.
The one that just, we just run into each other. We never see each other in a long time. Oh my God, where have you been? It was just like, it was so random. No, it wasn't random. That's the devil. He just planted it there for you. It's just timely. Okay? And then your wife start getting attention.
Yeah.
Okay, who doesn't like attention?
I don't know.
Okay, there's nobody that
We
doesn't
all-
like attention.
we
You know,
all
I've seen
like-
people tell me that, oh, I don't mind. I'll post my picture. I don't care about the likes. You're
It's
lying.
a lie, Joe. From the pits of hell.
You're lying. You're gonna go look back in 2 minutes later. If you don't see 2 likes, you're mad.
What?
In fact, all of
Wait,
you are
that's-
mad that didn't like
That's
this
a little
picture.
crazy.
No, all of you that saw this picture and didn't like this picture, you're mad.
Oh my God.
That's
That's
literally
not
the
a-
state of
that's
mind
not
of
a-
some people.
That's not a good place to be.
Well, the point is that we all like attention.
We do
and that's
like
what
attention.
and that's what Facebook, Instagram, and all these platforms count on. Your
Yes.
engagement. That not because they care emotionally, because it tells them how much you're engaged with the content. Right? Which is why you must make sure your thumbnail, we're missing 2 thumbs up. Okay.
I'm missing 2 thumbs.
2 thumbs up. Make sure you like the video. Okay. All right. You get the point, right?
Right.
That we all like attention. Okay. And if you don't think you like attention, wait until you don't have enough attention. That's when you will know. You know, that's when you will know that we all like attention.
We do.
So if you now know that we all like attention, right? How do you get into a place where you say, my wife is human like the rest of them all,
Okay.
right? Sometimes she doesn't need me to poke her with the
The D.
D.
Okay.
She just wants to feel like somebody is paying attention or somebody is remembering her. Hey, just thinking about you. I love you. Some people say, you know, I'm just not the affectionate type. Good. There you have
I
it.
found that to be some BS.
There you have
Okay.
it. I'm just not the affectionate type. You know,
Yeah, you're right.
You're
That's
not the
what the
affectionate type.
side chick, they'll be affectionate too much.
Well, here's the problem that you have when you're not the affectionate type.
Somebody affectionate.
There are people
Come take your wife away.
that are crossing the path of your wife from time to time. It doesn't have to be a man, by the way. It could be completely a woman who is just going to be a friend who will take attention of your wife away. Now suddenly she wants to go out every time. She's feeling like she's not feeling
having a
herself.
good time
she's,
going
she's
out.
feeling like she's finding herself. She
Yes.
wants to be.
Sure.
Stella got her groove back. She didn't go pick up a man in Jamaica, but she did pick up one.
Eventually, yeah.
At least she wasn't married, right? But there's no way where they write it that married or not married, right? And the human mind, either married or not married, works the same way, right? You get certain level of attention that you're not used to. Suddenly, that's new. Let's go back to that, the newness, right? Suddenly, you have that sense of newness, sizzle, newness, and excitement,
Sizzle.
right? And then she finds herself contemplating things that on a normal day,
Fantasy.
she will start fantasizing things on a normal day that she wouldn't think about if everything was good.
Yeah.
But our mind is such a fickle, like gentle. You plant a seed there, you talk about death, something like death. That's how our mind, that's how it works. Why do you think the pastors are always talking about somebody dying and some witches and wizards and witchcraft? Because they catch your attention like that. Just look at the people that are praying when they talk about witch and wizard. Just look at their action. Their tongues. Suddenly.
Yeah, all of a sudden it's like,
Right?
I'm like, oh Lord, I can't be.
That's the
I
mind.
can't be in this situation.
That's the mind.
Right here.
Fear,
Yeah, fair.
faith. Fear, faith. You put fear and faith together in the form of the way they actually come into our mind, not the words, right? The mind will always go in the direction of fear. That's how stupid our mind is. It's dumb. So you have to build it.
Yeah.
Okay? You have to build it. You have to
protect
feed
that
it.
mind.
That's why I subscribe to, if you're a Christian, you can't afford to not be reading your Bible. You can't afford to just know how to quote Bible. You have to read it
And understand.
and apply it in real life.
Yeah.
Because it's not just for you to summarize and learn how to quote the Bible. No, I'm talking about living it. You read it, you live it. If that's not you, you need to have something that you feed your soul that builds you as a person. Because if you don't, those weak moments are going to come in the form of the relationships around you or your marriage. The other person, you start feeling like the person is not feeding you, but it's actually you that you're hungry. You're just hungry. And the person doesn't have the ability to feed you because they're also human, like everybody else. And maybe God is trying to remind you that maybe you're the one that's supposed to feed this relationship right now. As opposed to me, what can I take from this situation right now? How can I feed the situation right now? That's why I said the heart of seduction, right? It's not just sexual. It's not just sexual. It's about you feeding the relationship that you care about, right? How do you do that without you saying, he didn't do this, well, he didn't do that, well, he didn't do this, or in this case, she didn't do that, she did that, she cheated. I think she's cheating. What are the signs that people are cheating? She's always hiding her phone. What is she hiding? Oh, dude, if she's hiding her phone already and you can see it visibly, she may not be hiding a man. It may be worse. It may be worse. Okay, what do I call worse? Living in a terrible relationship for the rest of your life, even if she doesn't cheat. Like she didn't cheat with a man, the one that Bratike hate. Right? She didn't cheat with a man, but she's cheating on you every day by not giving you the attention that you guys should be giving each other, because she doesn't feel
she's
heard.
nagging you to death.
Or you can't, oh Maggie, you're about to go home after the happy hour.
You're not happy. Some people are actually scared to go back home.
Yeah. Or vice versa.
After
or
work.
her, after work, she's scared to come home. And now you start to wonder, she's behaving somehow. That dude that calls here all this, I can't stand his ass. He's just a friend. I think he's a friend. He's my buddy too. We talk, but I don't know. They seem too close. All this insecurity will start playing out in your mind.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, it points back at you. That's just the sign of how weak you are in that moment. And if you have any insecurities about that relationship, how about you give into the relationship? How about a surprise? Buy him a shirt. If it's a man, how about buy her something? How about learn her love language and do more of whatever her love language is? That's you giving. That's the whole point of love languages. The 5 love languages is a book that anyone in any kind of marriage or relationship must read. Because your love language is probably different from your spouse's love language. That's when people go.
Love language is a very good book. His Needs and Needs is a very good book. You need to read those books. Yeah. And maybe you can start to have empathy for people that act the way they act. It just makes sense to you. Like, it's not that this person is trying to be evil. They're trying to fix a need.
It's an escape. It's an escape, exit. It's a weakness, Right. It's not necessarily wickedness. Could it be wickedness? If it's a wickedness, it's actually worse for them, because all you have to do is recognize that she's still in a very state of mind where she feels that she has to be wicked. Let me just protect myself.
Yeah, then that's how you have to respectfully bow out of the marriage. You don't have to be a doormat in such a situation.
But when you go to the extent of calling her a hoe, she just wants to sleep around. She's just a prostitute.
A prostitute.
Just think about your state of mind when you say that. Is that really the best place
she's never getting paid for having sex? She's a prostitute. It's so easy for men to say that. She just wants to
sneak around the house. Like a woman who cheats and she's in a relationship doesn't enjoy that, by the way. It's just a terrible state of mind to be in, because nobody enjoys that. She doesn't enjoy that either. She may enjoy the thrill of excitement for a minute, right? But that only lasts for so long.
Yeah, it does.
Because real life will kick in, right? And the thrill is all she's exciting. The moment if she leave that husband and move in with that person,
that will end now at some point.
If it ends, it will be better. What if you're there and all the thrill is now dead, but you don't want to be a failure a second time?
Oh, that happens to a lot of second marriages. You do know that, right?
Yeah, of course.
It's always a struggle, because now you're like, oh my God, am I going to get divorced again? People are going to be counting it for me and all that. But the real truth is you didn't even fix the situation, your first situation.
You didn't fix yourself.
And you're taking that into the next marriage.
Yeah. So it's only a matter of time before they find out. So it's actually worse for the person engaging in such behavior. And if you're in that person's life, the last thing you want to do is be judgmental, because that's not going to help.
It doesn't help.
It does, especially if you're the husband or you're a person in their lives and you're telling the husband, like, your wife is wicked, oh. You're like sister-in-law or something. Your wife is wicked, oh. How could she? If that's what you bring into to that table, well, it's gonna be terrible for your brother. It's gonna be worse, So, have anything to share?
You have to nurture your relationships. I think we always stress that on this platform, but I feel like people don't understand the real meaning of nurturing your relationship. You have to water it.
Yeah.
You have to feed it.
Yeah.
Don't say, I'm just tired. I don't have time. You have to make time. Even when you're tired. One thing I love to do that I know that no one can take away from me right now is working out. When I wake up in the morning, the feeling that I get from walking out, that I feel like even though I'm tired though, but I still want to get that workout. The benefit of that workout is what is exciting for me.
Yeah.
And that's the same way your marriage needs to be. Like, you need to keep working on it. At it. You can't say, oh, I'm tired today. I've been busy with other parts of my life. So she'll be okay. You can't do that, especially with women. Women were I feel like we need that attention. We really do need that attention.
So if you don't get attention, you're going to cheat.
I didn't say
that's
that.
The question the fellas
I'm not going to go with shit, but I will hope that I'm with a spouse that is, that I can talk to.
That gives you more than enough.
That I can have that conversation with.
Fellas,
that can feel comfortable to say, babe, this is how I'm feeling right now. A lot of men don't leave that room for their women to be able to speak out and say, babe, see, I don't like what's going on right now. What can we do to fix it? They're like, especially our African men.
They get defensive, yeah.
Okay, they get defensive.
Let me talk to the fellas for a second because I don't want to hear this. More practical solution, okay?
Right.
If you don't spank your wife, you don't smack her ass when you pass the kitchen by.
What?
If she passes you by and she doesn't hear a tap on her butt,
Jesus.
Those are all attentions.
Oh Lord.
She may even say, don't do that. Trust me, just do it. Okay? If you don't do that from time to time, not every time, but every now and then, if you don't do that, she's probably missing attention. Okay.
What about the pastors? I feel like a lot of women that are married to pastors tend to even suffer more.
What about people that are married to a pastor?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know about their father. I've not heard so much about that, but I've heard so much about the pastors one. They completely neglect their wives.
Well,
they are busy saving the world, and then Mommy Gio is frustrated.
She will cheat
sexually.
Yeah, she may not cheat physically, but she will cheat. Okay, and it will hurt just as much. Okay, did you know that emotional affairs actually hurt more than physical? Because you will just never know if she actually did it or not. It's worse. She's getting attention, or you feel like she's getting attention, or you feel like she doesn't want to hang out with you. She doesn't enjoy it. By the time you start feeling that, it's usually a bit too late. So by the time you start feeling that, before you start catching that vibe, that's why I wanted to input some practical stuff.
Right.
I have an example. We went to
comments.
We went to comment. They're just listening.
Oh, okay.
Right here. They're just listening. Somebody said, "Great show. Thank you, Kanye."
Thank you.
Yeah. So we went to some kind of marriage book, and we just went because we pay attention to everything marriage. In my opinion, it's like blah. Same like it's one of
said blah.
It's one
so
of those.
You didn't really get anything from it.
If majority of the message is you have to love each other, like dude, we know
people already know that.
We know that.
You have to find something.
Somehow we can't love each other. Somehow I actually love her. She's not loving me back.
We're actually stuck right now. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Somehow I love her, but she's not loving me back.
Right.
Or vice versa. Right. And we're in that stank.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get out of that stank. And you're talking about we have to love each other. Okay, I love him. It's not working backwards. Hello, reciprocate, right? No, they don't talk those harder conversations.
No, they don't.
Conversations,
They don't.
But one of the young men there, Jim for Jesus type of throughout the whole session, it's just like this.
Oh my God. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Now, there's a moment they actually had a session where they say, hold your wife's arms and just take a walk. They actually had something.
Yes,
and this dude was in the corner, like,
oh my God.
And the wife was holding the Bible.
Oh Lord.
All right, so holding his Bible. You always have that big extra knowledge Bible.
Can you imagine what someone like that does at home if in that moment they can't even understand the message that they said, okay, you guys take a walk around, maybe go to the gardens, take your spouse, go have some one-on-one time together, and they're doing this.
Now, there's nothing wrong with your belief system if that's what you believe in, but there's a place and time for everything. And life will bite you in the butt, just like it will bite everybody else. There's a reason
why God gave you that, to enjoy it.
Life will, now, I'm just using as an example, they may have an understanding. Honestly, they may have an understanding that works for both. In fact, that may be her turn on. She just wants to see her husband do this. Right? That may be something that turns her on. God. We don't know that.
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
So we should never judge anything by their cover, okay? But I say this all the time. We're all predictable. People are predictable. You know, we have incredible radar for bullshit, right? When people try to bullshit us, we kind of can tell. We may not be able to catch you like this, right? But we can tell. The point is that we're predictable, and you can see vibes, you can see energy. You know, the people that are doing it. You know, those that are not.
You know,
that
the ones
they are
that are
struggling.
not, yeah.
You know, so the point I'm making is that if you can relate to it, you know, the point here is that your belief system is your belief system. Just understand that your woman is a human being, and you as a woman understand that you're a human being. Don't judge yourself, right? Don't prejudge yourself either. Don't say I would never. Don't say never. Say never. Never say never. Okay, never say never. Make sure you're nurturing yourself so you can nurture the relationships that you care about. All right. Make sure that never say never. Make sure that you're nurturing yourself so you can nurture the relationships you care about. So let's bring Bratike on here. Bratike.
Oh, Bratike, hey, Bratike, I heard you.
How you doing?
Come, I want to hear it again. I want to hear it.
Okay. No, it goes. How you guys doing, really?
We're good.
We're good.
All right. Sorry, I drove in late, and by the time I sat down to join, that was when you were rounding up on the Instagram.
Yes. I saw you came in as I was leaving. Yeah.
The adage says, "Obìnrin tó bá yànlẹ̀, ńṣe ló fẹ́ ṣe kú pọkọ." Now, literally, it means a woman who changed, only wants a married woman, not just any woman.
A married woman
who changed, yes, only wants to kill the husband untimely. Now, in the African context, the cheating woman or the challenge of the cheating woman is much more deeper than in the diaspora. Now, in Africa we have, particularly Nigeria, we have the what do you call it? We have different ways and manners by which to checkmate a cheating woman. Out of it is magu.
Oh yeah.
Another.
What's the English of magu? There's an English word. Thunderbolt.
Yeah. Really, it's just a phrase.
First of all, I appreciate you, by the way, because you help us bring this thing home. By like things like that, I wouldn't have come up with it. But thank you for bringing that up, because that's a real thing.
That is a real thing
that they use in Nigeria. But go ahead, please. Thank you for bringing that up.
So one is magu. Two, to another one to check. And when you say magu has different varieties.
Jesus.
Different types.
I'm scared now.
That is the so when you really say thunderbolt, the way they translated it doesn't seem to actually encompass the real details or different types. For instance, magu lomiwa, that's magu that has to do with water. Once the man eats it, anything water, you drink and drink until
that person just.
Yes. Oh my God.
The one that they start somersaulting is the one I know.
The one that is somersaulting is the commonest.
It's the commonest.
The commonest. Well, magu, that's the water magu. Then there's gari magu.
Gari until you.
Is the only thing the man wants to do is to drink gari.
Wow.
Only anywhere I see gari, he will drink and till stupor. So then I think there is Magonino or something. So it goes on like that, depending on what they actually use to make it. But most magu I know has antidote.
Right.
So
Just like most
and
petty stuff.
yes, and ironically, magu also can be redirected. That is when somebody puts it on a woman and a man who is more powerful gets to be the ally. That's the person who's being cheated with, the man who's being cheated with. And he's powerful. He can redirect the man in such a way that he will not do he will remove it, do what he has to do with the woman, then redirect it back into
To the husband.
back to wherever it came from. In such a way that if that person does not have the power that he has, he's gone. So really, without digressing too much into African.
For the audience that are not necessarily Nigerian, the Magun,
Hello.
for everyone, can you hear me? Magun,
Yeah, I can hear.
yeah, Magun is basically some fetish weapon that's put on a woman when you're suspecting that she's cheating. So you put it on her so that whoever sleeps with that woman will die. So when he started measuring the water magun, that means that person will just start drinking until they die. The somersault one, that person will start the person will be looking for a place to somersault until he hurt himself and just die. Or the dying one, which is cassava, whatever, he will just start eating that until the person died. So I wanted to explain that for people. Now, to bring things back home, Kenny, home, what do you, I know you don't suggest that a man who is suspecting, because like I said earlier, one of the most
let me before your question, really. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Before your question, you see, so to actually look out, apart from means by which you checkmate a cheating woman, why that argument came into force is that when the woman cheats with another man and the other man enjoys her better, then the other man will now plot to kill the husband. That's why they say
marry her.
Yeah, it can cost that. Yes.
So that it doesn't even directly mean that you can marry her, but at least you have her all to himself.
For as long as he wants.
As long as he wants. I wouldn't need to share with anybody. So that's why that adage came into force. Now, I said, because I remember Ola hammering on that fact that I said I hate cheating women.
Oh yes, you did. Explain yourself.
Yeah. I tried to look for.
Not only did you say that, you put it in quotes.
Yes, because I couldn't find a better adjective to describe what I really feel about a woman that cheats. Now, you guys have been able to give an expose on different reasons why a woman can cheat or why a woman cheats, especially when we say married women or women in a relationship. Now, you've given it enough expose on that. But you see, a woman that cheats has a psychological defect, sometimes somewhere in a medulla oblongata. Now, why I say that there's a vacuum. Along the line, a vacuum was created.
There's a void.
Or is being created by the actions or inactions of her spouse. So when that happens, she wants to fill that vacuum. So now all you have said much earlier comes into play. The attention, the money thing, gifts, and all that, all those one comes into play because that vacuum has been it needs to be filled. So to the best of my knowledge, for you now to look at the best way to fill that vacuum is to now go out to meet another man is suicidal, because in most cases it's like, okay, I come to you, let me give you a scenario. I meet a babe and a married woman, and we get talking, hello, we're friends, and all of a sudden she starts telling me her challenges. Now, the where to go, how to go forward in that means that either, how to go forward in that is either I want to go ahead to have a relationship with her, or I would just want to counsel her for her to have a better marriage. Now, if I want to actually have a fling with her and say, oh, beautiful woman, the husband must be stupid. Now, all I need to do in that regard is to play along with her, with the failure she's facing in her marriage. The challenges she's facing in her marriage are what I'm going to twist over. And it's the same thing, it's the same scenario for most men who go out to cheat, who cheat. Now, because in whatever is missing in that relationship at home is what's going to be filled outside.
Right.
Now, I have sorry?
I said that's fact. It's not going to be filled outside.
Yeah. So to the woman, it might look like, okay, I overheard somebody one time that there is okay, sorry, let me put this funny Ijebu something. Baba Iriska happened to be a wood merchant, a logger. Now, at some point in time, it become a little elderly. With both of them had become a little elderly, and at that time, money started rolling in. So Babarisi now had to join elite club within the city, and things were moving. He started moving with the big boys and all that. And for so many reasons, big boys, they share ideas, they share the sexual escapades and all that.
Yeah.
So part of it is Babarisi learned to know what fellatio is really. That's the way to go. Okay. So he got home, introduced fellatio to his wife. That this is what they do outside, though. The big boys, this is what they do. We have to do it. So the wife accepted, and he gets good blowjobs at home and all that because he doesn't want to go outside. Now, at some point, the wife too, I started moving with the wives of these other fellas.
Yeah,
Now, she now learned that, okay, Babadi too can take her to the heights of mountains by sucking her. Now she got home and told Babadi, wọ́n ní tẹ́ bá ti ṣe báyìí, èmi náà máa gbádùn ẹ̀. Bàbá yìí náà said in Ìjẹ̀bú, ẹni orí mi fi ń tọrọ àjẹ́ nílé fi lábò.
Hopefully some people understand you, but go ahead.
So I mean, you can always translate that. So where I'm going really is that the point I'm trying to make is that there are so many things that couples do not do. They don't explore. their marriages, themselves, they don't explore themselves
Yeah.
sexually. So
Mm-hmm.
they don't know the sexual depth, sexual energy that they both have, so that they can share it. And when that happens, if by any chance the woman has to go out, has to seek pleasure outside, the man outside will notice the naivety of that woman and play on it. And the
Yep.
woman will say, "Oh, this man is the best that ever
Yes,
exists."
Well,
I agree.
it will feel that way.
So and he will continue to do and do and do, and before you know it, the woman will want to leave out of the marriage. So
Yeah.
it's a challenging thing. And by the time she gets into marriage, it will be the same cycle all over. So my suggestion and my advice, my counsel to most women, when there is only one thing that make me agree for the dissolution of the marriage. Only one thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the marriage is violent.
Oh, violence.
That's when, yeah, I can never ever support a violent marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But aside from that, if it's a cheating thing, it's something that people can sit down and talk about. And I believe communication, as in quality communication, is one of the things that allows for a woman to go out to chase.
Some
Other
men are not
reasons
open to conversations with their wife. They
they
don't even want
don't.
to hear it.
Well,
They don't.
the problem also is that when people are in that state of mind, it's either you have somebody shutting down already, who they don't want to have a conversation, or somebody's talking too much. It's one of those two.
Mm.
So it goes
Yeah.
beyond just any physical. You can start the conversation if you've never had one, but once you have conversation once, second time, third time, it's not working, then you got to dig deeper. There are underlying issues, and they have to be fixed
Right.
without necessarily words, without using words.
All right.
Yes. Yes. So I always
How
Yeah.
one you improve the communication gap. Then
Mhm.
secondly, see, the worst thing a man can do is snooping all over your wife. You want to know who she's spoken with. You want to look at what she's doing out when you're not there and all that. It will kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it's
that's
even when you start suspecting as a man, when you start
it's
suspecting your
bad.
wife is doing the worst you can do is no. What you just need to do, try to bring her out, try to do things
Mm-hmm.
that eventually will make her feel guilty
Yes.
and
Yeah.
come back and confess. Because it will get to a point you look at yourself and you know I've counseled somebody and the lady said the day she suspected her husband of cheating was they made love and it was so passionate and she really enjoyed it, and they've been married for like 10 years and she had never enjoyed sex
Like
Wow.
that.
like that. And immediately she suspected that wow, this guy must have gone out. You know,
Mm.
and
You want to learn
and
how
There are men that do that too. If a woman is asking for extra exploration
yeah,
sexually, they feel like
she's
where did
cheating.
you learn that stuff from? What's
Mm-hmm.
all that?
yes,
Get out of
so
here.
It's real out there.
so it does happen, and when such things do happen, then the man needs to just exercise patience and try to understand where she's coming from
Yeah.
or where it's coming from, whichever way. But like since we're talking about the lady, the women, another thing women do that actually lead them into trouble of extramarital affair is being too close to the opposite sex.
I was going to
Most
talk about
men,
That
that.
was a question that we
Having a
had.
best
So
friend.
that's your question now. That's your first question. I have a second question for you. Should a woman
yes,
be close to a member of the opposite sex that's
That's
not
what he
their
just said.
husband? No, I'm asking him now. Please elaborate.
That's what it's saying. That's they
He
get
said
in
no.
trouble. They get in
Oh, did you say
trouble
no?
when
Did you
they do
answer
that.
already?
Yes.
Why?
so I said no. I said no already. It's like, you see, the thing is, when you get the women are emotional beings. Um, when you when they see you every day, they see you every time, they talk to you by conversation, by communication, you get to know a lot about people, whichever way. I mean, that's how we communicate. That's how we know ourselves.
Right.
So if by the time you keep going and going and um, getting closer to this person, to let's say a lady getting closer to the man, I will get to a point because you guys are bonded. He kind of now will seem to be like he understands you better than your spouse,
Mm-hmm.
They compare.
and he's a mirage
Hmm.
because I mean
Mirage.
It's a facade. It's a
Okay, it's
mirage.
fake.
It's like
oh, it's fake. It's fake.
Mhm.
She will start looking forward to seeing you. Like I've had an experience like that. There's a lady that I give rides to every morning going to work, and sometimes because I can choose not to leave home early because nobody's gonna ask me. I'm the boss in my office, and I can just go late. But because of her, she needs to. She works for somebody. Sometimes I do leave home early only because of her, because I don't want her to get late.
Right.
Now, now we've kind of bonded over time, and I discovered that the way to reduce that attachment
Hmm.
is letting my wife come in. And
rich.
when she started coming in, I started encouraging my wife to ride with me to the office. So she started being a third party in the car most of the time.
Hmm.
And deliberately, even when I don't want to leave home early, I encourage my wife to come. She could go by a staff bus any day, anytime. But I told her, look, don't worry, I'll take you to the office every morning because I know that it will prevent me from being alone with the lady I live. In spite of the fact that I didn't have any bad, I haven't had any bad experience with her because I mean I don't have anything in my mind for her. But she tells me things that ordinarily she ought not to tell me.
Yeah. That's how it starts.
Mm-hmm.
So I empathize with her. I advise her, I counsel her, and because she's like a family friend now, it makes it easier for me to relate with her. So I wouldn't start getting funny ideas in my head. So that's the way you can checkmate.
A woman should not have a best friend who is a man outside of the marriage.
You can't. It doesn't work.
Let me see. Is it right to have
The-
is it right to have an affair in separation while still married? So some couple will say, you know what, maybe they went through a very bad moment, right? And they are separated. You know, maybe even borderline aggressiveness that looks like it may lead to violence, right? So Either party.
I think I'm having network challenges. Or if I want to answer you, in the first instance, if they are married, why separating in the first instance? Why? It doesn't help because you are putting more gaps in your
Some
marriage.
people have trial separation. You've heard about trial separation before. They do trial separation just to see if they will miss each other
Yes,
or they just go their own way.
yes, yes. Child separation is, if I use the American slang, is bullshit. So, oh, my internet is getting messed up.
Yeah.
So,
Anyway, let's leave it there. Let's leave it there. Thank you so much for plugging in.
Thank
Because
you,
we already went over
Ratike.
time.
Yes, so
You know, we
all
always
right,
appreciate
so,
it. Thank you. We talk.
thank
Huh?
you, sir.
Yeah. Yeah.
Take care.
All right, that was cool. So basically, what do you think about that question? Is it right to have an affair in separation? Do you think trial separation is bullshit? But this is a moment sometimes where some people define it as cheating because you're still legally married. Yeah, roll.
It's not about, again, I'm gonna come back to, it's not about right or wrong. Okay, you can say it's bullshit, you can say it's wrong, you can say it's right, you can call it whatever you want, but the fact is, when someone is not full in themselves, someone is lacking, someone is weak, there's a void. The heart wants what the heart wants. It will chase what it wants and it will get it.
Yep.
That's how I feel about that. So I'm not going to be here and tell you what is right or wrong.
So
I really don't know.
It's like this. If you think it's right, you're right. If you think it's wrong, you're right. But it's not relevant to the issues, you know. Separation, trial separation, it's necessary sometimes. Here's how you know it's necessary, okay? If you feel it's not necessary, good for you.
Right.
Don't ask for it. If another person feel like that's what they want right now,
how are you going to stop them from wanting what they want?
The best thing you want to do is
let go.
Give them that. Let go, okay? And that may just be what that person needs to figure out that, you know what, I can't live without you. That may just be what you need to realize that, you know what, I can live without her. It may just be an avenue for God to create a new thing for you.
Oh, I deserve better.
Yeah. So if a person doesn't want to be in a situation with you, the healthy thing to do is, like, you understand, let it go and let them sort that out. You know, have empathy for them, because again, there's nobody that gets into a marriage that just wants to leave the marriage.
Yes, I think people should remember that.
It looks like that on the outside to other people or to a person that have seen themselves as a victim. It looks like that. But it's not. It's just, if you really think about it, it's not realistic that somebody gets into a marriage just to want to divorce. It's because they're also going through something mentally.
Yeah.
And that's what seems like an escape right now. So the real question is that if she now gets with other people and explore out there during that period of time, she already said she doesn't want anymore. The papers, the certificate is, I don't want to say it's meaningless, but would that help? Clearly, that's not helping because she's out there. She's separated from you right now. And you don't want all these labels and titles and stuff like that. You don't want to bring that up.
You don't want to be attached.
You don't want to be attached to them. You should let it go. And what she does as an adult during that period, and I need to talk about that Magoon stuff. What she does as an adult during that period of time, frankly, is really none of your business. Okay? You should now work on yourself so that you can attract the kind of love that you deserve. Maybe her, maybe not her. It really doesn't matter. It really wouldn't matter once you get through the process of building yourself. And yes, it'll be painful. It's easier said than done because this is the person you love. You don't want to let them go.
You're invested in them. So
yes. Now, with regards to the Magoon stuff, thunderbolts that my brother brought up, this thing, that fetish thing that people do to suspicious, like, think about it. Like, he said it himself. Thank God he said that. I said, once you start being suspicious of your spouse, you're in a terrible state of mind. You might as well just cheat, even you yourself. Right? Because nothing you do, your whole energy is going to basically be driven by that thought in your head.
Yeah, nothing good is going to come out of that.
And we smell it. We can smell it. We can smell each other. You can say that I'm suspicious. I should have my phone. This one does not pretty and stuff like that.
Right.
You can feel it. So not to talk about fetish. We're talking about you're in a relationship with a person. Now you want to use a fetish thing. Like you said, there's always an antidote. Is that the right English word?
Yeah. Antidote.
There's always some kind of price, a terrible price that you have to pay for engaging in activities like that, to try to hold a person back. If you watch any movie,
the antidote is like a cure to the. What are you talking?
But that's a cure. There's
antidote is the cure to the mago thing. Yes. Some of them, I think, it's that most of them are.
If there's an antidote, a cure to it. Do you want to find out if there's a cure to that kind of thing, or you want to find out after the person is dead?
It's just what if you are being suspicious of the woman and she's not even cheating?
I was thinking of antidote as there is a price to pay.
No, I actually believe there's a price to pay.
If you are killing people with ritualistic behaviors,
right,
to try to capture or to catch a person in the middle of the act. Honestly, even if you're not using any of that, if you're actively trying to catch your spouse in the act,
you're going to get what you're looking for.
That's number one, but that's the least of your issues. What's worse is that your state of mind is very unhealthy.
Yeah.
And what you should do is, you should, I'd rather that you work on attracting your wife back to you if you feel the disconnection.
It's just not worth the engagement.
If you feel a disconnection between you and your wife, work on attracting her back into your arms. That's why I say you have to learn the art of seduction. Okay, it will feel that much better too, because you did the work and now you feel good. Like, I did the work, I attracted back into my arms. That will make you feel like a king that you are. But if you have to use manipulation, either spiritually, using fetish,
that's spiritual,
using ritualistic stuff, if you have
that's some scary stuff,
crazy stuff like that, nothing good can come out of that. Nothing good can come out of it. I said there's a cure to most magong. Yeah, antidote. Yeah, so thanks. My wife, she's always has my back when it comes to English language. It's my struggle. All right.
You're right, baby.
So yeah, I just think so. Now back to why do women cheat? What is the takeaway today? Let's round it up. What's the takeaway that you want to give people?
Nurture your relationships.
Yeah, nurture. Nurture your relationship.
Nurture your relationship.
Nurture your relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't focus on why women cheat. You take care of your relationship, and you won't have to deal with that.
That's a woman not taking responsibility. No. I agree with nurture your relationship. But that goes for the person who feels like they've cheated too, or they want to cheat, or they may cheat, or they will never cheat. Nurture your relationship, because never say never.
Never say never.
Never say never. And why do women cheat? Let me answer that question. It's beyond you, okay? It's beyond anything you can identify with any technical terminologies right now. We've identified a few things. We talked about lack of, there are many reasons, but let me give you just maybe about 7. Okay. Not being accountable is not one of them. Okay. That's just your perception of the situation. Narcissism, maybe, but we're all narcissistic to a certain level. So it's not really a main thing. Revenge, it could be. Okay, it could be, but that's also a weak state of mind where a woman feels like she has to invalidate herself to validate herself. That's a retarded way of thinking. I don't mean to say that. That's a bad word, right?
It is.
It's an offensive word. I take that back. Baby. But it's a slow way of thinking. The brain is slow. The mindset, psychologically speaking, is slow. That's why it's thinking it has to invalidate itself to validate itself. You have to devalue yourself to validate yourself. It doesn't work.
You have to hurt yourself.
It's an oxymoron. You have to hurt yourself and your family to put value in yourself. It's an oxymoron. It feels like it could be good right now because you need to work on that part. The underlying reasons why you don't feel good about your situationship. And I guarantee you, gratitude, number one, find things, actually write them out. Things that you really enjoyed about that relationship, and just by writing them out, you may start seeing things you can build on top of, right? So you have to be in Kotabani Lamang Bilaruge. And when I say that, I'm not saying look at it and just start appreciating it like a maniac. That's not what I'm saying. I know that sounds crazy to people. Like, what do you mean? It feels terrible. I just don't like it.
I don't have what you're saying. It's just a horrible process.
Think about you responding to me right now. You haven't sat down and write it down.
Yes, true.
You're reacting, and nothing good comes out of overreacting or reacting. All right. So, boredom, loneliness, neglect, yes, can cause a woman to cheat. A good woman can find herself in a terrible state of mind and cheat on your eyes. Okay. Thrill of sexual novelty. If it is like if it feels dry, right? If she's dry, anytime she thinks about you, that's a problem. Okay, is this your fault? It's not a matter of fault.
If it feels like work,
but once you know that that's happening, you're now responsible to seduce her. You gotta make her
make it happen.
All right. So same thing. Sexual addiction. Is she sexually addicted and she just wants sex all over the place? I mean, you're not a doctor.
Don't see a doctor about that.
Yeah. If she's not self-identifying for that,
it could be a medical condition.
Who's seeing a doctor? We're talking about her. You're talking about the man, right?
Yeah.
Or the person that's questioning. Mm-hmm. If that's her and she feels like she may be sexually addicted, you're absolutely right. She should see a doctor and see if that's a thing.
You want to be a support for your spouse as well. You can't just be telling her, "Oh, you're too addicted to sex. Every time you want to," like, no, come on. There are ways to go around these things.
Well, that's if she tells you, right?
Most women will tell their men.
Will tell you
if
that
there's a man that can,
so I'm about to cheat on you.
No. Okay, like I want more. They'll tell you in a way that you're always tired. Like, baby, I think you like sex more than I do.
Right.
Yeah. Then the conversation can
I agree
come
with you, but sexual addiction can cause cheating.
Yes.
Right. All right. So low self-esteem can cause cheating, right? Let's see what else we have. Lack of sizzle, newness, excitement. Random text messages. I was just thinking about you right now, and I can't wait to poke. Don't say that every day, especially if you haven't been listening to her. She's gonna look at you like you're crazy. Don't you touch me. So you have to make sure your wife feels
dare you.
Make sure you're feeding her emotionally before you do crazy.
Make sure you're mind fucking her mind.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. You just want to be nasty.
No, you got to say it how it is. Some of these men don't get it.
So lack of sex and intimacy. Yes, absolutely. If you're a person that shy away and you say, well, tell her that, hey, babe, hit the shower. Let's go in the shower. Do something. Say something about it. Because if you don't, she may not know. You can't smell yourself. She may not know what she doesn't know. Like, let me smell my nose. No, I can't. Okay. She will have to smell my nose for me. And when she tells me, I have to have listening ears too. I have to be able to understand that, have a receiving mind for that.
Right.
But again, if that's what the issue is, also engage in solutions for it. If you don't
go and tell your wife that, I'm gonna be at the boss. Like, yo,
that won't work. That won't work. So that's why you have to learn.
Gotta be sensitive.
That's why you have to learn
Some
seduction.
people don't know how to talk.
That's why you have to learn seduction. First of all, you marry that person. There's something you remember about her.
That's
you married her.
On. Yeah.
Maybe she wasn't smelling that. Now she smells. Now you have to learn something new. How do you tell her that without shattering her mind, without shattering her self-esteem, or make her feel like shit? Unrealistic expectations can make a woman cheat. Okay, that's now going to the narcissistic behavior. I just thought it was this, it was that, it was. So I heard you mention the book before, Heart of Seduction. The Heart. I'm using that's my H factor. Sorry.
Oh, ART.
That's my Nigerian H factor. The art, ART.
Art of Seduction.
It's written by Robert Greene.
ART.
Yeah. So let's keep going. So unrealistic expectations. If a woman had an idea in her mind of like, he will blow my mind once I'm married, and that doesn't happen. Okay.
So people say when you get in your 40s, things are gonna be, you just want sex all the time.
But that's just sex.
All the time. Me thinking about, okay, I can't wait to turn 40. Maybe my living goes.
Now let's say you get to 40 and it's
and
like
it doesn't happen. And it's like blah. I'm like, okay.
Well, we're talking about the expectation of the other person,
Right.
of the spouse or the relationship as a whole. If you have expectations, wrong expectations, if you feel like I'm just supposed to be happy every day and you're not happy every day, and no, but you don't.
People tell you that, like the example I gave you, a virgin, or maybe someone that, let's use a virgin that got married to a pastor, and they're just thinking in their head their first time having sex is gonna be like heaven.
It's gonna blow my mind.
Most of the time, it's not.
Right.
That could be unrealistic.
Right.
You gotta be prepared
now,
for
unrealistic expectation over a span of time. Like the expectation that, I hate to say it like this, but people do have the expectation that, like even men, like, what do I need therapy for? Things like that. Just lose all your expectations and learn the person that is evolving. You marry that person, but that person is going to evolve. Learn that person,
Yeah.
So that does cause a woman to now go seek what she's still fantasizing outside, and she can cheat because of that. Okay. And even if she's a good person.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not like she's going to decide one day I'm going to go cheat.
No, I don't even think anyone does that.
No, there are cheaters.
Okay. There are serial cheaters that, actually plan it out.
Yes. Wow. But a lot of situations that we're talking about here is not a situation like that. It's just like a match made in heaven. Oh, I just stumbled into him. Oh, I didn't mean to. Oh, yeah, I was just in a very weak moment. There's a lot of those cases going on in the real world, even to those that think my wife will never do that. All right, so exit or escape. If it's a toxic relationship, yeah, granted, you may not even know, okay, but she feels like it's a toxic relationship, it's an escape avenue, okay, just like entertainment, just like a thrill, the same things, basically.
Fantasies.
Yeah. So those are the things that now the takeaway. Did you give your takeaway yet?
Nurture your relationship. That's my takeaway.
My takeaway is this. I agree with her 100%. When you get into
just fart?
No. If I fart, I'll tell you.
Oh my God, I had okay.
It's this too that I'm sitting on.
Okay, baby. Sorry to put you on the spot, but hey.
It's okay. All right. No, my takeaway is, about specifically about women that cheat. Don't take it personally. We have all kind of baggages that we carry around life, and we just never know what would trigger us to act in certain ways, even ways that we've sworn that we will never do. Okay. And so you have to be aware of that. Don't take it personally, but respect yourself. When I say don't take it personally, that's not an obligation that you have to stay in a situationship with the person that cheated on you. It depends on your mind. If it's healthy, why you decide to do that or not do it. Whatever is going to give you the best emotional, healthy emotions, healthy relationship with yourself, with your higher self, with God, with yourself, your personal purpose, yourself, so you can give into that person. If you're not adequate in all of those things, it really doesn't matter if you get back with her or somebody else. You will still suffer, because chances are, if you're not good on GPS, God, purpose, and self, if you're not good on those things, you're just going to take the weight off of her. After all, that's why she ran away. It was an exit for her. You're going to take it to somebody else, and you will experience probably worse than actual person cheating on you. So I said, a woman cheating, don't take it too personally. That's just people being people. We all cheat in different ways in life. Maybe not sexually, maybe not on another person we're in a relationship with, but we do shortcuts. We cheat on ourselves by eating wrong. And we know that is wrong.
That is wrong. That can hurt us.
We're supposed to work out. We're supposed to walk every evening, and I cheated for the past 3 days.
Okay, and I've been doing my 3 miles.
And I blamed it on the rain.
I've been walking out inside the house.
And I blamed it on the rain.
Okay.
Excuses. So let's call it what it is. For those that want to say, let's call it what it is. You want me to say she's just a cheater? No. That's not what it is. What it is that we're all human beings. We're all human beings, and we all fall short sometimes in different ways of life. That's just one aspect we're focusing on, but the same solutions for all of it. You have to be self-sufficient.
Yes.
And that means, that doesn't mean that now I feel happy right now. It means in the middle of a crisis, can you survive? That's what
crisis will come. Oh my.
Yes. You're going to be tested.
No one prepares you for that. Yeah.
Not when everything, we're just sitting and listening to pastor. You should love each other. Yes, preach, pastor. What about when I don't feel like loving myself? Hello? All right. That's it. That's all we have for today.
Thank you guys for hanging with us. Oh my. It's
don't
7:30.
Forget, if you're brand new here, just go to lolaandola.com and go download the book, or you go to getmymarriageback.com.
Get my marriage
you go download the book,
my marriage
and then hopefully you've been enlightened and educated. And we'll see you on the next one. And peace. All right.
Have a nice one.
If you cream on my last one, party two, at the party one, party two, like the one. I go be the change your catwalk and change your life, John.